All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checker TV. We're back. So you had hopefully everybody had a good off season. I say it was definitely a busy one for myself with various things. But yeah, say we're gonna be kicking things back off once again here tonight for a fun race before the season begins tomorrow. So we got 100 laps here tonight at Talladega, 2 faster pairs, and of course 3 green white checkered attempts. And then, of course, right now, a full field's looking like probably about 43 entries, it looks like, here this evening. And, of course, some money going to the top 3 tonight. I believe it's 40, 20, and 10 for our top 3 finishers. So, should be a lot of fun. And, again, new season kicking off tomorrow night with the Next Gen Series. Then Tuesday nights with the Indy Cars. Thursday night Superspeedway trucks, and then back to Sunday with the Superspeedway Xfinity series that you will be seeing here. And all 4 nights will be on Green White Checker TV once again. So looking forward to doing that and adding some talent alongside with me. Say Sunday nights, no change there. Going to have my partner in crime, Matt Wagner, in the booth with me. So Matt, pleasure to have you back, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. This one's going to be different. I say a little longer, but very full. And that one extra fast pair, I think, could play a big role in how this one turns out tonight.
That one extra faster pair. Well, last season there was a little bit of mix up in the the race. We had 2 faster pairs. That race was actually very good. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully these guys will keep it clean and green.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And then also, getting some new talent as well over here with the Green White Checkered TV banner. It's definitely a new experience for me, having like some people like underneath me formally that are going to be doing a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of great help as the second chair, like Matt Wagner, Steve Gottschalk, Brandon Webb and company. But they're going to have a new broadcaster who's going to kind of run the show as well through some nights as well, and that's going to be Boomer Logan, who's going to be helping me out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and going to be taking the lead on some of those races as well. So, Boomer, I'm so glad first we got you kind of familiar with the league over the past couple of races last season, before we kind of hand the keys off, if you will, to you for some of these races on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I really appreciate you hopping on board here and saying really, really excited to have you. And kind of glad to take advantage of a not ideal situation, of course, for you having to have that shoulder surgery, but say whatever it takes, I guess, to get your talent over here.
Yeah, it's been fun. I got about a half dozen races under my belt on Tuesdays and Thursday nights so far, so it's been great to join the team. And like you said, kind of nursing a shoulder injury right now, so kind of sidelined from doing any racing really, but I can still lend my voice to the broadcasts, and I'm very much looking forward to getting the chance to be the main voice, or at least one of the voices on the Tuesday and Thursday night broadcasts. So looking forward to the opportunity.
Yeah, saying that's something we've really brought up before, and I know we've talked about it, but kind of to let those who are watching already to kind of get familiar with you a little bit. Let's say broadcasting, maybe on the super speedway and iRacing side of things, maybe not what you've been the most familiar with, but you've been definitely a voice on other forms of activities. So I don't know if you want to do a quick little spiel of what you've been able to do, kind of on the real life side of things, to lend your voice to some talent over there.
Yeah, I guess kind of a completely different world, but my wife's very involved in horses and horse showing, so I've actually I have a bit of a role announcing one of the local horse show open show series here in mid Michigan. So I've been kind of doing that professionally, technically for a couple of years now, but get a chance to be the voice of the show and keep things moving along. Obviously, completely different discipline than what this is, but something to at least use my talents of my voice and grow that. And this will be, this is more of my speed. I've been a race fan my whole life, so it's more fun to get a chance to do something I'm more passionate about. But definitely fun to expand, I guess, my resume for the the broadcasting and the the announcing side of things.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's great to have you on board, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun this season. So that being said, though, qualifying just completed here. So on pole position, though, we're going to have the 26 Vicente Guerrero going to win that pole position over Donald Stewart by 1/100th of a second. And then you got Zachary Workman there in the 14, kind of the car number of Vicente's normally, so kind of snagging that car number in that 14. So going to be a lot of different car numbers with the names that you're used to, so just be advised of that. Let's say, but then you got behind there Robert DuPont right there, BK Anderson, JD Crow, Dean Wilkinson, Michael Spell, Cody Nagels, Jack Walls rounding out our top 10. And 11th and 12th, you got Charles Johnson, Quabi Brooks. We'll continue on down. Michael Taylor, Jim Brooks, Keith Horner, Bud Steele, Kevin LaChance, Austin Randolph. I think a new name, new face to the league. And you got Andy Brigante, Brian Grimm, Jason Hand, Derek Walker, Ryan Kelly, Brandon Briggs. Continue running through here. Paul Sheldon, Gabe Butler. And so you see 26 on back. A lot of guys opting to start towards the back here tonight. And then you got Chad Wilkes, Jimmy Crow Jr., Donald Sadusky, Alberto Lopez, Robert Rock, Eric Laurie, Jay Hilliard, Andrew Schroeder, Dan Harrington, Randy Miner. And I say we got to go all the way down. We're getting all 43 here tonight, though. You've got Todd Siebels, Dave Bingle, Richard Sanchez, Edwin Outlaw, Jackson Carr, Tom Dixon, and Jason Middleton in the 43rd position, starting shotgun here tonight. That being said, though, field all rolling off, and looking at the timing and scoring here, looks like we do have about 3 drivers that did not grid, so we got 40 drivers on track here. Right now, not seeing Jason Middleton, Tom Dixon, or Jackson Carr. However, of course, still some time for them. Maybe opting to start from the pits. We'll have to keep an eye and see on that one, but we know for sure at least 40 starters here tonight.
There is a few drivers I want to keep my eye out on. I would like to shout out to Chad Wilkes there, man. He's a very good racer. It's been a long time since I've seen him race. Very good in IndyCar, very good in the Cup car. And also, I want to give a shout out to Mr. 3 Wide himself, Keith Horner. You want to keep an eye on him all night long, too.
Yeah, Keith always one enjoying running that third lane if he gets opportunities to, starting in the top 15 tonight. So definitely got the track position to start off with. The other thing we got to mention, Matt, is they're going to have some new sponsors over the course of the season here. With the new season, picked up a few new faces, new names. Say 40 Racewear, Jim Herrick's brainchild. That's going to be coming up here, and I know he's going to be donating some gloves to the Indy Series over there. So really generous of him. So that's going to be pretty fun as well. Merkel Racing Engines, Todd Merkel, always one of the more dedicated drivers and supporters of the league as well. So pretty cool to have those guys on board. I say we'll definitely have some more Levy designs continuing from last season as well. So say we'll have some time to go over all of them because we got a few others as well. So really appreciate those guys hopping on board. But say it's about time to get going here, Matt. Say the pace car is dropping off onto the pit road, and it's going to hand it over to Donald Stewart and Vicente Guerrero here for lap 1 of 100.
So what I heard over the voice chat is it's going to be on green every restart and the initial start.
And that's a big difference. Yeah, usually leaders have control of the restarts. Initial start always on green, but yeah, that's a big change there. So this one, no surprise here. They'll go wait for that green flag, and now they're down and away. As we get going here again, 100 laps is the scheduled distance. 2 fast repairs in their pocket should they need it. That's going to be Donald Stewart actually getting a big jump there on the outside line, but still not quite enough to clear that 26 there. Vicente Guerrero, I'm saying Vicente, he's got the draft early on here with that, who's that behind him? 14, I think that was. Going to try to push him a little bit forward right off the bat.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about him at the start because he had a huge gap right behind him. And look at that outside line. Everybody's all lined up outside.
Yeah, it looks like this, you see the 17 of B.K. Anderson. Looks like he switched his Burger King sponsorship for the Cheerios paint scheme tonight. So it's always fun. Again, we'll see what sponsors these guys come up with over the course. I say the one that really stands out to me so far, Matt, is we got some pretty serious team sponsorship going on here with TW Motorsports. You see the 55 of Dean Wilkinson, I think stands out nice and obvious in that 55, and saying you'll see a lot of paint schemes that look very similar. So you have to pay close attention to those car numbers because that's going to be the way to differentiate those guys from one another.
Yeah, last season I'm so used to the car numbers now getting near with our little fun race, and I'm a little bit confused who's who, so it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, so don't mind us to say we're going to be learning as we go which drivers where and which cars and all that. But right now, things pretty calm here, 2x2 for most of the field here. Just a little bit of a drop-off around the 30th spot of Andrew Schroeder. But saying actually talk about some of those TW drivers kind of going with what they do. And look at the back. It's a TW just brigade back there. Actually, Matt, when you look out from the 48 on back, you got the 171, the 59s in that mix. You got Randy Miner, Charles Johnson, Todd Siebels. Dave Bingle's in there as well, Richard Sanchez. So yes, I mean, man, if these TW guys, if they can all line up together, and they've got almost 10 cars strong it looks like in this field tonight.
Yeah, they got quite a hefty group. Last year they like riding in the back, just biding their time and waiting for somebody to make a mistake and then come up toward the front and trying to pounce on it.
Yeah, so far so calm though. Looking at the numbers of the fuel numbers, maybe a little bit less tonight than we've seen in previous nights. I was hearing from one of the drivers maybe in the mid-20s, like 24 or so. Used to seeing these Xfinity cars usually getting more upwards to the 27, 28 range even. So that could be interesting to say. I mean, that if it is indeed under 25, that could be a big deal tonight because, of course, with a slightly longer race, you're going to need to go at least 25 laps to go for that 3-stop strategy. Again, this is all pending things going green. So we'll have to see if that comes into play or not right now. But so far, pretty calm here in this initial start. Dean Wilkinson, the first to really kind of jump to the top from his starting position, trying to go for that lead. He is +4 early on. But other than that, not a lot of big movers. Actually, as I said, Alberto Lopez, who's in the 39 car, but actually showing as a 10 car. Again, car number's not going to quite match tonight. Up about 8 to 9 spots currently in that Valvoline Supra. So say these guys, not a lot of huge movers yet, but again, still very early in this one.
Oh, looks like Donald Stewart's going to drop himself to the back.
Yeah, exactly right. Donald maybe just trying to see what it looked like up front. Said, okay, again, fun race. Let's maybe start to learn a little bit. That's the thing, too, is these guys can almost use it as a test session. Maybe drop to the back, see what they can do. But the problem is, there's only so far you can drop before somebody might want to try to kind of be that person to push that third lane. Saying for a moment it was looking at it was going to be Derek Walker, but Derek opted to go ahead and roll back to that second lane. It does look like the 78 is trying to drop on back as squeeze there between the 10 and the 20 down the backstretch. You got one more up top there. I think that is Zachary Workman doing the same here. So a couple guys dropping a little bit more back than I would have expected, but with all that shuffling, it's now allowing BK Anderson to look like he's going to try to take the point here with help from JD Crow.
I'm a little worried about Jason Hannon at 00. He opted to go onto the apron and let everybody by, and he is now in risk of losing the draft here.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely off the draft, unfortunately. He's about 2.5 seconds off of Chad Wilkes, who's the last car in the main pack. So basically gives us now, 38 cars in this lead pack. But then, like I said, Jason Hannon, unfortunately, going to be off the draft. But we've seen before, sometimes being a little further back may not be a bad thing, especially when things are starting to spice it up a little bit like they are up front here. Because you got Cody Nagels now trying to work that top side. You got Dean Wilkinson.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so you got Dean Wilkinson and the 07 of Robert DuPont trying to work that third lane now. So it's starting to pick back up a little bit here. Say they did their 2x2, but I'll say they're going for that third lane now, and a little bit of that side-to-side wobble that always makes us nervous here.
It usually makes me bite my fingernails, and I just really hope these guys can hold it.
Definitely a little more room here at Talladega for that 3-wide action, but definitely maybe a little early to be trying to push the issue.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, bud. Daytona, it's a little risky of the 3-wide situation, but here at Talladega, you can go actually here 4-wide. I've actually seen it last season, and these guys held it pretty good. Like I said, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, so 3-wide definitely is a lot more feasible. There's a little bobble there towards the very front of the field, but so far so good. And yeah, as they pop on the YouTube chat saying, on the viewer saying drivers, they're probably clenching as well when this is happening. So wouldn't doubt it, because I think there's plenty of clenching going on in the booth and in the cars right now, and honestly probably some of the viewers as well who are kind of maybe not a vested interest, but say always rooting for their friends, their family, and so you always get that little bit of investment yourselves in these things. But what we do have up top though is we are now 4x4, 4 rows deep, 3x3. I'm sorry, 4 rows deep, and it looks like it's about to be 7 rows deep as some of those TW drivers starting to work their way up towards the very top.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. They would drop to the back and just chill out. We're not fighting for points here, It's all for money. It's just all for broke here.
Yeah, it's just all for fun right now. So right now the TW guys up front, you've got Dean Wilkinson. We've talked about him plenty. That 24 of Brian Grimm's up there as well. Then on the inside, I believe, I'm trying to catch the car number there. I think it's the 32, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like the 32 of Michael Taylor.
Yep, Michael Taylor. Yep, exactly right. Thank you, Boomer. So you got 3 of them up front. Actually, you can see there's actually odd one out there in the 52, I believe that is a Paul Sheldon. He's kind of, we got trouble up front. Oh, right in front of the field here. Oh, big hit for a couple guys. I think that may have been a motor that let go in front of the field there. And unfortunately, that is big one, number one here.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct there, Gael. Mr. Robert DuPont blew up.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this is going to be faster pair number one for a lot of drivers. Some drivers hoping they can just get back to pit road and get serviced. Again, faster pair is always available for these guys. We'll have two. You're right, the Robert DuPont already has taken a tow and is back into pit road. So we'll go back. We'll take a look at this one. But unfortunately, though, numerous cars here involved. So let's go back first and take a look at this incident. Say we'll try to focus on Robert DuPont, as you mentioned. That seems to be where it all kicked off here. So let's go back and try to get a better look at it here. And saying it's already kicked off, so we're gonna back it up just a little further. And saying also got to mention some of the sponsorships that have been added on. Say we got some additions from Mike Peters. We've got some stuff from him as well, the Awesome Shop, as well as on the replay side of things, say Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. So pretty cool to have them on board as our replay sponsors. So but say we're going to take a closer look though at that number the 07 here as they come out of 2. And yeah, he was pushing pretty hard on that number 55, and there it goes. You can see the smoke out the back, and then just nothing that the 18 behind them could do. You see Derek Walker involved. At this point, it's pretty much who isn't involved at that point. You see the Quabi Brooks going around, Jim Brooks getting caught up in it too. Looks like the 99, we'll have to take a look at that 99 car, may have just squeaked through there. Austin Randolph, Bud Steele as well, I'm watching, maybe doing some good avoiding action. So, yeah, definitely the big one here early at Talladega though. But again, faster pairs will definitely be a big help for these guys here. But yeah, a lot of cars here are going to be needing to take that first of the 2 faster pairs.
Definitely convenient to have 2 of those tonight here. There's definitely going to be quite a bit of action. I'm sure we'll see. That's not going to be the first big wreck.
Yeah,
no.
most likely we'll see some more for sure. So it looks like Dean Wilkinson going to win that race off of pit road. So there will be, and that's something that actually it's good to bring up too, Boomers. The fact that those fast pairs usually they run the 1 faster pair in all series. So here, of course, being a fun race, they went ahead and kind of put that extra one in there. So. We will see some drivers, though, they're going to probably try to get those damages repaired manually. I see the 36 of Quabi Brooks. He is definitely making a longer pit road stay for him, up in 30 seconds so far. So there are a few that are opting to try to get this damage repaired, because if it's not too major, the more you can keep in the bank, the better. Chad Wilkes had about a 30-second pit stop as well. So there are a few that are going to try to save all 2 of their faster pairs to keep them towards the end if they need them.
There's one thing that I will mention, that me as a driver here in iRacing, I have my app INI set to faster pairs 0, and it automatically does not click it. Like, you have to manually click it, but unfortunately that happened to Jimmy Crow, so his day is over.
Oh, that's a tough break. Insane. So we're gonna break the rules here a little bit, because we're gonna play a little bit of insider info. We're gonna pull in that 88 of Gabe Butler. So Gabe unfortunately didn't make it through. And saying, I'm guessing you already took a good look, but say from where we're looking at, you got a whole front clip missing. So is that going to change the plan on maybe putting that faster pair in and getting that clean car for hopefully saving that one towards the end of the race?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take it. It was like over a minute, so unfortunate, but it is what it is.
All right. So with it being a fun race, does this change your strategy at all over the regular season? Because we know what you're able to do in the regular season. Do you kind of go a little bit more for broke here, or even with it being a fun race, you say, I'm going to play it a little bit more cautious than usual?
Really, I'm just going to use this to make sure the setup's okay. Test the setup and see what it can do or what it can't do. So that's the main goal tonight, just to see how the setup is.
All right, we'll let you get back to work, man, and say still got one in your pocket after this one, so good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, bud.
And that's actually something that's fun to bring up too. Is Gabe Butler donating his time and effort to work on these setups for the trucks for the Xfinity cars at these super speedway tracks, to just try to help them draft a little bit better, maybe push a little bit better, things of that nature. So to say, that just kind of shows how he is even in a fun race. I say he's still thinking business, thinking work, and okay, how can I make this better for the competitors in the league here. So Gabe is just a top-notch guy, a really great racer, but also just a great person all around too. Always donating his time and effort to help the league, and it's really cool to see guys like that being a part of this.
Yeah, I really don't know much about the setups on these cars, but the Indy side I'm very familiar with. But maybe sometimes Gabe could teach me.
Now, what I was about to say is, on your side of things, Matt, let's say you obviously a competitor too, let's say, and helping broadcast on Sunday nights, but then also, like you said, being an admin on the Indy Series, running, working on the setups for those Indy cars, trying to make them as racy as you can, and put on the good show as well. So it's a great core group of guys here, say, running the races, doing the behind the scenes stuff that maybe they don't get the appreciation or the credit for. That because a lot of guys don't realize how much time and effort you guys have to put after post race and pre race and all that stuff. So it is sometimes a bit of an unsung job, but definitely appreciate everything that you've been putting in here as well, Matt.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, a lot of laps run. It's not just like you go out and 1, 2 laps. Oh yeah, Seb's good. No, it takes a lot more than that. It just I usually have to have help on my side of the thing. So. Nick the Groot, if you're out there, thank you very much. I appreciated your help. I know Jim has been on this, not much of help lately, but he's doing a nice little speedy recovery, and I really thinking of him too.
Yeah, no, so that'll be something we'll have to bring up as well. So what we do have here, though, this is the restart attempt number 1. We talked about on the pre-race. They're talking with the drivers. We're going to be going on green on the restart here tonight, so you won't see any strategies up front. What you do see, though, is a lot of TW Motorsports drivers that have found their way towards the front, but again, you look through here, they're just scattered all throughout the field. And we do have a few drivers still on pit road as well. The 36, Bobby Brooks, maybe the same fast repair issue you talked about, but...
yeah, I forgot to cook the fast repair.
Yeah, it kind of has that look to it, but right now on the inside line, you got Dean Wilkinson, Jack Walls, no strangers working with each other on the inside line. Up top, you've got Vicente Guerrero, B. Anderson. We've already seen those two work very well together. But you've got about 3 TW drivers now in that top 5 or so, with that 9, the 24, and the 55. So we'll see if they can find a way to get hooked up here. Oh,
we got another caution out. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's towards the back here, just in front of Michael Spell. You see him coming up towards it. And it looks like it may have been Zachary Workman involved. I think there was another involved in that one as well. I think Edwin Outlaw actually may have been the other driver involved, unfortunately. So that's going to put us back under yellow here. So we'll go back. We'll take a quick look to see what exactly happened here. But yeah, it looks like it was right around Zachary Workman, though. So we'll kind of focus on him. Oh, yeah, something with the 30 kind of just lost on the backstretch. I'll say we'll back it up and take a closer look at that. But yeah, maybe just a hardware issue, because you can find the car just kind of turns right on the straightaway, and we've seen before, VR failures, hardware failures. We have seen things of that nature, and unfortunately, just that 18 car is just in the wrong place at the wrong time and gets hit there in the right side there, and that puts him right up into the outside wall. And you see, I think Randy Minor looks like these two escape here unscathed. I was watching the 07 and the 101. Yeah, they get through okay. So looks like pretty much just a 2-car incident there. But yeah, possibly I would say potential issue for that 30 car there, unfortunately. So we'll jump back live here though once again. So I'll say it's a pretty quick yellow. So we'll do is, while we have a moment, we're going to step away, and then we'll be back here on the 1 to go. So stay tuned. All right, so lights are off of pace car 1 to go, but before we get going, I say there's a certain very popular driver in the field here who apparently is not streaming tonight. So I said we gotta do the work for him and get him some TV time here. So so Derek, let's say you've been kind of in the thick of some craziness a little bit early on. So I mean, take us through the strategy tonight and what's it gonna be to try to get to be that top. I say because also I say I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of TW Motorsports drivers surrounding you here.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I noticed. There's a crew out here together, so that's going to be tough because it takes a team on these tracks. So it'll be fun, though. I was going to be really cautious at the beginning of the race, but I saw that we had 2 quick repairs instead of 1. So I was a little bit more aggressive at the beginning, running that high side, and then it looked like somebody may have just blown an engine, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, unfortunately, Pop's motor there prompted that big one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we got caught up in that. Had to use our first quick repair. I'll probably still be a little aggressive, but right now it's a long race, so I'm going to try to keep this thing in one piece.
All right. Well, before we let you get back to us, I don't know if you want to say anything to your loyal supporters who are following us. I'd say appreciate them bringing the views over here to YouTube instead of your Twitch tonight. So I don't know if you want to bug them before we kick you out of here.
Yeah, just a big shout out to the lug nuts out there. I appreciate them.
All right, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's a very good dude right there.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I got to watch some of his streams here and there. So yeah, he's a lot of fun to work with here. So say we'll get him back in his home. That way he can work with Dan Harrington over there. But yeah, so that being said, though, we're gonna get things going back again here, guys. We're gonna have Jack Walls, Keith Horner front row. You mentioned Jim Brooks. I'll say he's definitely had a bit of a rough offseason. We'll kind of get more into that a little bit later on. But then he's going to restart third. You got Austin Randolph, new name, new face there, up into fourth. You got Alberto Lopez, Donald Sadusky. So got some good names up here. Bud Steele's right there as well. Logan Helton, a pretty big name as well for those that watch some of that Roads of Pro Racing. He's definitely been involved in those. So we're going to get things back going here. Still lots of racing to go here, starting lap number 17. This is going to be Jack Walls and Keith Horner leading the field.
Mr. 3 wide himself.
But what do you do when you're already up top, though? I mean, I say now he's in a tough spot, but we're back to green here. So I say what he needs right now is he needs some drafting help because unfortunately he's got nobody right on his back bumper there. So that's going to let Jack and Jim sneak away here. Might even get Alberto Lopez the opportunity if he can sneak around. Oh, he's actually going to peek low. Nope, can't quite do it. I say he's going to give Alberto Lopez maybe a chance to try to lead that outside line. But here comes a couple guys already popping. Yep, there goes Alberto. And you see also Bud Steele. He's jumping to the top 3. So I say wasting no time before we're going back 3 wide here.
No, these guys are not going to waste any time. They saw that middle lane was a little slow in speed, and that third lane is starting to build. And look who's just joined the party.
Yeah, so it looks like it was Bud Steele leading. I think that's Gabe Butler, if I'm not mistaken, being the pusher. So we're watching off the back of Jack Walls there, so he can't see what's going on. But yeah, right there, there's Derek Walker as well. That's the third car in the outside lane, and they are starting to make a pretty good charge here. But for the 37 Keith Horner, he's pretty much pinned right now behind that 10 of Alberto Lopez, so it's in his best interest just keep pushing that 10 car. And you mentioned that 00 as well. He was in that earlier incident. I say he's right back up into the thick of things here as well.
That was a little bit closer in the back. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, so that's going to be the other thing too, Matt, is towards the back, we're going to have to watch that Lucky Dog battle, because I believe right now Robert DuPont has it. However, Michael Spell's next line, he's not too far back. So for those that are watching, I say there's nothing wrong with trading paints or any of the paint schemes. There's just a lot of TW Motorsports drivers here tonight, and saying they're going with the triplets, quadruplets. So I don't know I can't go that high on the Plitz numbering system. So whatever it is, that's what they're at right here tonight, though.
Yeah, on my screen they got all identical schemes, and it's not hard to miss them, but number-wise, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to tell them, like, hey, keep the same base schemes. Let's have a couple colors to offset so we can see who's who. But right now, though, up front, though, still continues to be Jack Walls, Jim Brooks leading that inside lane. Donald Sadusky, he's creeped up into the mix there in that number 19 as well. Say Donald's always one to watch in these races as well. And it's, again, as I say that, there he goes. He's going to pop to the top in front of that 10 car of Alberto Lopez, see if he can lead that second lane. third lane's kind of held station right around that 4th or 5th row. As you saw, that 99 there had a pretty big bobble there in the middle. And that's really the tough place to be, is because you just have to be kind of right. You can't overcorrect left or right on this thing. So, yeah, so when you're in the middle, you kind of have to do a little bit of both of that, just trying to keep that thing as centered as you can. So, right now up front, though, Matt, we are 3x3 now, but still getting a great push in that third lane from Gabe.
As we all know, Gabe is a hell of a pusher, and
there he goes.
That dude is talented.
Yeah, that gets Bud Steele to the front there in his Bellhaven Ford Mustang. So now Gabe's going to lead that third lane. And I say he's got Derek Walker behind him. There's a little bobble there. Say for just above that. Yeah, that 20's got a bit of the wobbles there for just a second. Looks like he's got it squared away now. But say we saw right there though, the Donald Sadusky, he found a way to get to that middle lane. He gets to lead that last time by the line. But it's, again, that 25, or sorry, the 88 and the 20, though, working very well together in that third lane.
Yeah, just a little bit more calmer behind that wheel of Derek Walker. And it looks like he's going to get that momentum on the outside on the backstretch. Maybe might clear Donald Stewart. No. Oh, big wreck!
Yeah, this is a wreck in front of the field, and unfortunately, this is going to be another big one here. It looks like it's going to collect upwards of a dozen cars here. I saw Jim Brooks in there as well. I think I see the 5 as well getting a piece of that one. So yeah, Robert DuPont in that as well. Cody Nagels, and unfortunately, I think I saw what just happened there, Matt. And we talk about it week in, week out. You know, when you're committed to your driver in front, you try to follow that move that he makes in front of you. And unfortunately, I think that's exactly what happened there. Nothing intentional,
no.
just unfortunate a mistake there, and catching a good chunk of the field. But we'll go back. We'll take a closer look at it. But I say we talked about those faster pairs, and we're going to need a few more here for some of these drivers.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like we talked about, I'm actually just before the end of the season. Just got to keep your focus on the cars on the inside. But I know you're trying to follow that car up front, but it's tough.
Yeah, exactly right. So say we'll watch off of the one of Gabe Butler here, because I say Gabe was the one that was leading that outside line there. But I think what we're going to see here, though, is as they head into towards turn number 3, you see Gabe clears, and then say Derek Walker is trying to stay in touch with that 88 car, and it's just unfortunate he had not quite cleared yet. But it's like I talked about before, though. You kind of just you get mesmerized is the best way I can put it with that car behind you. And then unfortunately from there, you can see the other car's contact behind there. You see Jack Walls just sneaking by there. Who's that up at the top there? I think it was Dan Harrington. A great job sneaking through that one as well. And you got Bud Steele actually doing some drifting through the grass here. It looks like actually hangs on to it pretty well for everything he had to go through. But unfortunately further back, though, Jim Brooks, though, the 71 Eric Laurie involved as well. So does have a few other drivers caught up in this one. You see the 24 just at the very end also getting a piece of that. So unfortunately a good number of cars getting caught up in this one here. But it's just unfortunate, Matt. You from time to time you just kind of get locked on that rear bumper of the car. You're like, hey, I'm helping this guy all the way to the end, and just unfortunately just wasn't quite clear. I mean, and we've seen that. I mean, you see that in the real NASCAR stuff too from time to time. So it's just nature of the beast sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder if Donald Sadusky's move to the inside kind of made his decision on that. Maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll have to investigate on that one.
I'd say because that was right. I mean, that did kind of kick off the movement. Donald's able to get low. That Gabe saw that move. He's like, okay, I can get to the middle now. And then that's where Gabe went from the third lane to the middle lane. And then it's just unfortunate to say that they kind of try to continue that shuffle down. Just didn't quite pan out for some of those guys. But it's just, I mean, that's just super speedway racing. These guys are going to be in tight quarters, and you got to make those quick decisions. So we got a lot of drivers on pit road here. Trying to see if we did have a lucky dog through this or not, because we did have a few drivers a lap or more down. But I have a feeling, I think everybody may have unfortunately been involved in the incident as well, because I'm still seeing Michael Spell trapped one down. Michael Spell, Robert DuPont. We got a few drivers a lap down as well. So back under yellow here on lap 23. So say just getting to about the quarter distance of this one here, and right now the top 3. Although I'm looking at Keith Horner's car and kind
It's
of missing
a
some
junk.
missing some stuff here. So
Yeah.
I would suspect we'd see him jump into the pit road here. Yeah, it kind of look like he's going to be ducking off there, which will then hand the point back over to Donald Sadusky and Gabe Butler for that front row.
Yeah, I was going to say he's leading the modified division right about now.
Saying it might get to the point where we might wind up having a modified division in this one, but we'll see. Though, saying obviously there's still a handful of drivers that have definitely kept their cars clean and green here so far. But yeah, so it's gonna be Donald Sadusky, Gabe Butler, Jack Walls, and then Jason Hand. It looks like also gonna be up front here as well. So far, some of the drivers that start up the front here, Matt, haven't really fared as well they're hoping. So I'm looking at the top 3 right now. You've got plus 28 for Donald, plus 24 for Gabe, and plus 18 for Jason Hand for our top 3. So those that start up front right now, Vicente Guerrero, our pole sitters, the furthest up in 5th, and BK Anderson started 5th and is currently in 6th. So kind of all over the place for where you qualified to where you could be running here currently.
Yeah, we still got a long way to go. We're only on lap 22. About 78 to go.
Yeah, looks
Plenty
like
of time.
Yeah, it's like we'll restart this thing with 76 to go. So pretty much just right outside the scheduled distance races. For those that aren't familiar with Area 51, the Super Speedway race is 75 laps. Daytona, Talladega for Thursdays and on Sundays. So basically tonight it's just about a 25 laps, a little further distance than the race that they usually run. So say pretty much just adds a pit stop roughly to the numbers, but this does put them right in that window, Matt, to be on the absolute edge of possibly a 2-stop window here to the end.
There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know how much they have in their tank this evening, but we'll keep on the number of laps being run here. You said about 24 laps that we can run.
I heard rumors of 24. Yeah, I said I didn't really kind of quiz too many drivers, just because I'm used to the pretty typical 25, 26 plus for the Xfinity cars. Trucks are usually around 22, 23, so they have to do that 3rd stop. So yeah, so it'll be fun to see what the official numbers are going to be for these guys. But we also know that these guys are pretty good fuel savers typically. So I don't think we'll see. We'll see drivers make it on 2 stops.
Oh, the fuel saving. I hate that. My side of things.
Yeah, say these guys don't have all the toys and tools to play with that the Indy cars do, like you're used to. So it's a whole different ball game for those. So up front though,
sure it is.
Donald Sadusky, he's going to lead the field back to green. So he's going to have Jason Hand behind him. Gabe Butler's going to have Jack Walls there in row 1 and 2 in the inside lane. And also you see the 59, Jay Hilliard. He's starting to make his face known here in the top 5, top 10 as well. So these guys starting to get going there, as well as Dan Harrington as the green flag is back out. We're back underway here on lap number 25, 76 laps to go.
So Jason was really well prepared for that restart, but Vicente Guerrero, I'm not used to him being in the car 26.
Yeah, so the paint scheme's familiar, but yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to have the help. I know Jason's new at this here, so he's going to learn real quick how good these guys are. Just look how well that bottom line is well and organized right now. And Donald is really struggling to have help here.
Yeah, right now the inside line holding strong as there goes Jay Hilliard, though. That's going to be the lifeline that you're talking about there for Donald to get some help there on the top side. Although I see someone peeking at the very, very top there. I think that was that 00. But yeah, right now though, these top 3 are just kind of scooting away from the field with Gabe, Jack, and BK up front.
Yeah, I said Jason's falling to the back. I don't blame him. Kind of new to the league, trying to get your little feet wet. Don't blame you one bit there, bud.
And I mean, honestly, a fun race is honestly the kind of the best way to do that. You get to learn a lot of the drivers and kind of the racing style that these guys are going to have and things of that nature. So it's honestly, yeah, it's a pretty good spot to be in to do this. No points online, just have some fun and kind of learn it and go from there. That way you can kind of go after the full season strong next week. So you're right, it's not a bad opportunity for him. So we talked about earlier, the next questions we had are going to be on the Lucky Dog side of things. And I believe currently, I think Robert DuPont is still sitting in that lucky dog position there in the 07 on the outside lane. So then you see Michael Spell, he'd be the next in line there, still in the 20s. So kind of what we saw a little earlier before that first yellow. Then a few more seconds back to Zachary Workman in that number 18. So still a few more drivers are trying to see if they can get some laps back. Here you see one down on the apron there trying to let the field on by. But right now up front, though, still holding pretty steady. The outside lane starting to form a little bit, Matt. But right now that 88 and the 83 holding very strong on that inside.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Hilliard, he was a winner last year. One of our first-time winners last year. And we had a bunch of them last year, Gael. I think about about 5 first-time winners. I'm big on first-time winners. Will we have one here today?
I think there's a good chance of it. So the problem is there is obviously some stout competition. I mean, you see drivers like Gabe Butler. I mean, he's pretty much one you're going to always have to try to win or to beat to be able to get those wins in these things. So I mean, there's definitely some big names and some heavy hitters still that are in this race. So that's going to still be one to watch. But I think there is a good chance of it because again, it's kind of one of those. As much as Super Speedway is already kind of a dark horse race, you just never know how it's going to go. I think the fun races are even more so that way because it's one of those almost more all bets are off. You're not worried about getting the win or a good points finish. Like, hey man, if I can get a top 3, get some cash in my pocket, that's always a good thing to have. So I would say, yeah, I think this one definitely has a good chance of have some of that maybe take a little bit a bigger risk than they might typically do in a regular season race.
Well, there's one driver we have not talked about all race long, and I usually call him a threat every time I see him, is that 5 car of GD Crow. Sitting there quietly, sitting there right there outside the top 15.
Let's find that JD Crow. He's hiding in there somewhere. There he is. He's working that third lane. You're right, though. Yeah, JD's been kind of just playing it calm here early on, so yeah, won't be surprised to see him working his way up at some point over the course of this race as well. Same goes for Eric Laurie. He just hasn't had much luck so far tonight, but I mean, we know Eric's always one that if he's in contention, he's got a really good chance at it as well. So, but like I said, though, it's just every time I look at certain drivers, I see the swarm of TW Motorsports drivers throughout the pack, and it's such an interesting sight to see. And so this is pretty fun to see all those guys out there, and that's the one thing I'm looking at is still with the drivers that are left in this one. Still got about 34 drivers on track, a little less that are lapped. It looks like I believe 30 on the lead lap currently. But a lot of the TW drivers are in that lead lap pack. So, like I said, if they can find a way to somehow get formed up, I mean, that is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But you see, Gabe, he found his way back to the top, back to the middle, then to the bottom, takes the lead back once again there. But Vicente's trying to work that third line. Cody Nagels being the pusher there up on top there in that 6.
Yeah, I was looking toward the back. I see all 4 of those TW cars. It was hard to tell who was who. I remember the car numbers from last year. But speaking of the guys in the back, like I said last year, that 45 car Todd Siebel was just sitting there buying his time, just waiting to pounce.
Yeah, so it's just Todd doing Todd things. That's what we're used to seeing out of him too, is just kind of cruise control and really wait for the time to really go after it there. So that's not a surprise at all for that 45 to just kind of be cruising and try to keep that car clean. So there's 2 trains of thoughts with these races. If you want to go full aggression, or do you want to try to back it down and then try to make those big moves late? As speaking of those big moves, you saw the Vicente able to get to the middle lane there, dropped right in front of BK Anderson. So there's, like I said, you've always got those thoughts that I want to be at front, control the race, and be ahead of the crashes. And then you got some of those that maybe it's like kind of more the way I would be too, is one of those to finish first, you must first finish kind of thought processes. Try to keep that fast pair as long as you possibly can, ideally keeping it all the way to the end, of course, too, especially when those bonus points come into play. So, and we've seen it work a lot of times for them. They usually are in contention towards the end of these races if they can just keep it clean all the way through.
And that's the way it plays. Hey, there's another driver we have not mentioned already. A really good racer on wheel. He's taught me a lot on the side of these cup cars. Is that the 13 car of Ryan Kelly. Very good dude. Yeah,
Ryan's a really, really soft spoken but very, very talented driver. And you're right. It's unfortunately, he doesn't get to do the super speedway stuff too often with us. Got to see him finally race again a little bit on Friday at another league, so it was really great to see him kind of back behind the wheel, knowing just how good he is and the stuff he's able to do. I believe he's been doing a lot of the next gen series though, where Maxwell Caldwell was able to win that title last season. So yeah, really cool to see Ryan out here tonight though, and yeah, wouldn't be surprised as well to see him in the thick of things as well here. Even if super speeders aren't his kind of cup of tea or his big move.
Whoa, hang on to it, fellas. I was going to say, meanwhile, we were just talking about him about 3 laps ago. JD Crow just come up to takes the lead.
Yeah, I was working on the outside. I gave Butler down, but yeah, so I went back to go take a look at what was going on up front. It was kicking off in a big way there. So right now they continue to run 3x3. So only about 10 laps since they last pitted, Matt, so let's say they can still go another probably about 15, 18 plus laps. Let's say we were talking about, again, I think really these guys, I think, are eyeing that lap 50 mark most likely for that next pit stop, just based on when they pitted there around lap number 22, 23, 24 to try to get to that quarter distance. So I think 37 just caught the wall there. Keith Horner out of turn number 2. Looks like he'll be okay, just a little bit of momentum loss.
He'll be all right.
But yeah, so these guys, though, continue to run that 3x3. And you see up top, though, Donald Sadusky, he's now found his way to the top of that third lane. And we saw earlier, though, Cody Nagels, he was the one that was able to push those guys to the front. I believe it was actually Vicente Guerrero at first that was able to get that big push to the front. So keep an eye on that 6 car. He might be one you want to be in front of towards the closing section of this race to get that shove you need to get to have a chance at the win.
Oh yeah, don't count Bud Steele out. I never do. He's a very, very good race, restrictor plate racer. Always fun to race against. Very hard to beat.
Yeah, saying Bud's always one of those ones that always loves to go strategy too. He'll try to do something different to try to one up the competition. But yeah, like you said though, JD Crow, he has got to the front. And there he goes. He's going to drop to the bottom, get in front of Gabe Butler. That's always a good person to have behind you as your pusher. So that's going to now allow BK Anderson to be able to lead that middle lane. Jay Hilliard behind him. And once again, these guys going 3x3 here up front. And say, like I said, I kind of like though where that 6 of Bud Steele is, just outside that 3x3 pack. And you can see got about a car length or 2 as well, just in case to have some reaction time if needed.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But I like where Todd Siebel's at.
Let's go find our Todd Siebels who we were talking about a little earlier before that all kicked off. And so one of you see all those TW Motorsports cars in the backstretch. One of those is his, and there it is, the 45. I say again.
Oh man!
I said we're gonna have to get a count, Matt. I said I'm gonna have to make you be doing that one. So we need to get a count of how many TW Motorsports drivers we have in this race because I honestly think it might
10.
be in the double digits. Are we at 10?
10.
That isn't an impressive feat. So I mean, that just shows these guys have been able to pick up some great teammates and again, that's just going to make them that much stronger this season. If they can get all 10 to be a part of the races on Thursdays and or Sundays, depending on what nights they're going to run. I mean, even if, unfortunately, they lose a couple in incidents, that's going to give them opportunities. I mean, it's like, hey, okay, unfortunately we lost 2 of them, but, hey, we got 8 more guys that we can work with here. So it's going to be fun to see what they've got in store this season. I say they've definitely been just season by season just ever improving. So, yeah, I'll have to keep an eye and see how that goes. What I did just notice here, though, we got the lead lap still running 3x3 as they were coming up in a lap car. But you can see right there, though, yeah, he's going to duck to the inside, and that's, again, not at all a surprise with these guys. So Derek Walker, again, just being the respectful driver that we kind of come to know and expect with this league. Kind of drops to the apron, let those guys cruise on by, not want to affect the outcome of the race, even if it's a fun race, and just try to see if you can blend in and catch that draft. So it's just, again, just top class from these guys in this league. It's always really a blast to see these guys, how respectful they are of one another.
Oh yeah, these guys here, they know what they're doing. Like I said before, very friendly. Looks like you're gonna try and pick him up here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay to grab that draft back, and I think that puts him now just outside of the Lucky Dog battles. I think right now still sitting in Robert DuPont's shoulders. I say that being said, he's kind of in the hornet's nest here in that lead pack. which I say everybody else looks like kind of just trying to play it a little safer. Michael Spell, the next driver in line for that lucky dog position, and then you've got Zachary Workman, Derek Walker. So they're all from second on back on the lucky dog side of things. They're about 3 seconds off of Robert, but like I said, if there's an incident, and as I said, caution's out, I just jinxed it because we've got a big one here again. And unfortunately, it looks like a good chunk of the front pack is involved in that one as we were talking about it. Then I say I'm trying to look at the timing and scoring, looking for Robert DuPont. There he is right there, Matt. So that's going to, again, he was in the thick of all that chaos, and that's going to cost him the lucky dog as he actually had to take a tow as well.
Wow.
And say we completely missed what happened there as we were looking further back. So let's go back and see what exactly happened here.
Oh.
Let's go see if we can find it. Because it was towards the front, I know that.
Yeah, Michael Spell's going to get the lucky dog.
Alright, so we're going to focus, I think, around Gabe Butler's. I think, again, he's right there up the front of the pack here. And then we'll try to slow things down once we see it. Oh, right there. The 52 has a bit of a moment. So we'll back it up one more time and take a closer look. So it just looks like kind of a little bit of a bobble, really, out of the 52 there. As you can see, they're actually kind of squeezing each other a little bit there. And then, unfortunately, that puts the 52 down into the side of the 071. And then from there is just kind of that accordion effect. And you can see Eric tries to hang on to it. But when in saving it, he then comes across the right rear, or left rear, I'm sorry, the 52. And then, just straight into the door of Gabe Butler, nowhere for Gabe to go. And then you see Vicente Guerrero kind of doing a little bit of off-roading himself. And that's where these guys continue to kind of, unfortunately, kind of pile on in a little bit. It looks like, I said, we'll continue to watch this because you can see right in front. Oh, yeah, there's, as I said, it looked like Jim Brooks might have cleared it, but then, yeah, he just got a piece of Eric Laurie. Jack Walls, a slight contact as well. So unfortunately, a number of drivers caught back up in this one as well as, man, Vicente doing a little bit of off-roading there, had to take a pretty nasty jump there as well. So a handful of cars involved in that one, Matt, that puts us back under yellow. And yeah, like I said, unfortunately, my quality commentator's curse, unfortunately, looks like that might be it for Robert DuPont. However, beneficiary of that one is going to be, like you said, Michael Spell puts him back onto the lead lap here in that number 20 machine, as the leaders are all on pit road here.
And Robert almost had that avoided. Almost. Just wasn't quite.
Looks like we had Jason Hand in that 00. He's going to stay out here and take over the lead of the race. There you saw Michael Spell just blowing on by, and he's going to get his lap back like we had just talked about. So he's going to stay out here. Although I'm looking at the timing and scoring, Matt, it looks like he actually had pitted on lap number 37 under green before that caution had come out. So that may have just been, I don't know if that was a planned pit stop or if that was by strategy or what, but I mean, that about, can't time that about any more perfect for that one, for that 00.
You remember he lost the draft. Or was that I don't think that was previous. Gosh. Yeah, I think that was. But I don't know. I have to go back and look at that one.
So, yeah. So, I mean, and the thing is, strategy-wise, he's right on pace with everybody else here. Strategy-wise, yeah, he's 3 laps different. However, I mean, everybody else it's still a 2-stop race, I believe, here till the end. Again, even if they can go about that 25 laps, it's not going to be enough to make it. Even if they could go 30, it'd still be on the absolute edge. And I don't think we'll see 30 out of these guys here tonight. So. No, I think it's a 2-stop race to the end, and so yeah, I think if you're Jason Hand and Donald Sadusky, your guys are in the same boat here, so not a bad spot to be in there, and gives him a ton of track position.
Is my timing and scoring correct? Is showing him the leader?
Yeah, because he stayed out when everybody else hit pit road. So
I'm sitting there scratching my head, and I'm like, wow, okay.
But it does look like there's a little bit of some timing and scoring stuff going on. As you can see, a bunch of drivers kind of all rolling forward, rolling back, trying to figure out where they need to be on track here. So we'll let them get that all situated here. But yeah, so I believe just with him pitting under green again, you can pit here without losing a lap under green flag conditions, and it was a pretty quick pit stop for him as well on lap 37, a 9.48 second stop. So yeah, there's a little bit of oddities. I'll say we'll have to let everybody kind of get everything straightened out to figure out who's supposed to be where here on the lineup as the lights are off in the pace car. So is a little bit of confusion here with everybody trying to get kind of lined back up. But what I am noticing here, though, Matt, as we're on lap 42, restart 43, there were a lot of drivers here to top off on that one to go, led by Bud Steele. So, again, I go back and I think about it. It's like, all right, maybe these guys, someone's going to try to pull that one stopper and just do absolute full fuel saving to the end.
So, if I remember last year, if we had the same amount of fuel in these cars as we did last year, my memory serves me right. Didn't they do 27 laps? Am I correct? Or
yeah, I think they could do. Yeah, I think they could do 27, sometimes even 28. I think if they'd stretch it.
So, actually, I don't think that would make a difference. They'd still be short. So
yeah, I think to make it to the end, they would need to be able to run 29 laps roughly on each tank.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, and of course, this also requires this thing to go green to the end as well for the strategy to
Yes.
be a potential. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same. I think it's going to be still going to be a two-stopper to the end. That being said, there is some options on strategy. Do you want to maybe split these two pit stops evenly? Do you want to run one full and then have the last be just a splash of fuel? But we're looking as the field's coming through here, as we kind of took a look at the back end of a handful of these cars. There's a lot of cars that have got some pretty decent damage still on these things. These guys trying to save those faster pairs. So we'll have to see. This still could come into play here, kind of who's got what left, because we're down to about 28 lead lap drivers now, with still a couple that are a lap or more down here. So we'll see, though. It's going to be Jason Hand leading the field back to green here. Andy Brigante on the outside. Then you got Donald Sadusky in row number 2 with BK Anderson on that outside, as we're going to restart this thing, Matt, to start lap number 43.
Jason is an IndyCar guy. I'll be quite interested to see how he does. Of course, I run with him in the ESRA series. Very good dude, talented in IndyCar. Kind of new to the restrictor plate side of things, and here in NASCAR, we'll see how it goes for him.
Yeah, so his biggest thing's got to be getting used to being able to push and to bump and everything, because those Indy cars, it's kind of frowned upon to do any bump drafting over there. Not saying I know by practice or anything like that, but it's definitely a very different form of drafting and how to make those big moves happen with those Indy cars compared to these Xfinity trucks and Cup cars. So yeah. Tandem drafting, I think that's going to be where he needs to do a little bit of learning, but he is going to get bullied here. It looks like, Cody Mangles, look at that. Kind of pushed Donald to the top there. So, yeah, you want to go on by there. And then he drops right back behind Jason there. So, a little bit of a snooker move, if you will, by that 6 car.
That's well played there by Cody there.
So,
but he does have his teammate to the right of him, BK Anderson.
Yeah, so you almost thought the teammates would try to stay lined up if they could. So, yeah, it stays pretty even now up front here. I'll say you got the 00 leading on the inside, Donald Sadusky in the 19 leading that outside lane. But right now the outside just slightly prevailing, not enough to clear entering 3 as of yet. And then here comes Bud Steele and that number 5 of JD Crow. They're going to start working that third lane early. So we talked about Bud being one of those that topped off, Matt. At this point, I'm going to say fuel saving is not in his question mark right now. He's just going for it, because if he was saving with that top off, he would have been just cruising that inside line.
Yeah, I would have just stood out there. Track position. I know everybody was watching the Cup race today. Track position was key. These Xfinity cars, they draft so much better in the Cup cars than we do here on iRacing, but they're so much more fun. That's why track position is not very favorable here. But when you rerun 3 wide, yeah, that's a different story.
Oh, so right there, the 17 able to get to the bottom. You saw just for that split second, Jack Walls is thinking about trying to get to the bottom as well, but he's able to react quick enough and stay in that middle lane. And then you see right away though, Donald Sadowski is, yeah, I saw you pass me, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to get that spot back. But now Donald loses his help because Jack Walls is gonna try to pick up his teammate there in the 6th of Bud Steele as they go 3x3 once again here as we start lap number 46.
I am watching that outside line between teammates there, Bud Steele and Jack Walls. See how well they can pull off the. Well, here goes Jason Hand right to the back.
He run up front. He's like, okay, yeah, this is pretty dicey. I'll roll out here.
Look at the push by Bud Steele. Look at that push down the back straight. Jack Walls is gonna clear the 26. Whoa!
Gotta be careful because Bud's not quite clear.
Nope.
Yep, and saying that's the concern. You gotta be careful there because again, Bud's trying to follow Jack, but just wasn't clear as well of that 26 car of Vicente Guerrero. So that's where you gotta be careful. And it's just like I said, it's so easy to do, and that's why you see so many people do it from time to time. It's nothing intentional. It's just you're so committed to that car in front of you, and just you kind of there's times where you kind of lose that blind spot, if you will, and you just kind of go with where they are. So, but look at this though, that 19 car, he's actually going to hop to the middle here, give up the bottom line there, try to pick up that 83 of Jack Walls. Something we haven't really seen too much tonight, is someone going from the bottom to the top.
We have seen that a lot from Sebastian Marin during the last season. Guy's a beast.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point too, Matt. Some of these guys maybe trying to learn, like maybe watch, kind of watching the tape, if you will, post race. Like, okay, what did some of these guys do? And so I mean, everything that we're seeing, they can see, and of course, if they save the replays, they can watch as well. That way, is try to get that learning curve as well. So, kind of like I said, kind of like in the real life NASCAR, they've got all that telemetry of every driver now that they can use to improve themselves. So these guys can use pretty much all the resources that they can through iRacing as well to help them out. So we definitely see there's guys that really kind of put the time and effort, like I said, pre-race, post-race into this to just try to kind of up their game. So it's pretty cool to see what these guys can do.
I expected a huge run push from JD Crow to Bud Steele. I couldn't quite get that momentum going.
Yeah, I think they just need a few more cars. Right now they just got the 3 of them there with Derek Walker as that 3rd car up top. And that's actually the next thing to talk about is that Lucky Dog battle, because right now it's right on edge here between Derek Walker there in the 20 car and then Zachary working on the inside line in that 18 car. So that's the battle for that Lucky Dog right now, and it kind of ebbs and flows as getting a little bobble there towards the top. I was saying the partner in crime in the background, my 4-legged assistant, he's getting pretty excited about something over there on his side. But right now, though, these guys continue to run 3x3 up front.
Better feed your cat guy out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to wait because we still got almost 50 laps to go in this one. We're just about halfway there, Matt. Say next time around, not this time, but next time we will get the halfway point in this race. And you saw right there the 5 of JD Crow. He had to duck to the inside there. So he just wasn't able to make that 3rd lane work with Bud. So he's going to drop back down, and that's going to slow that 3rd lane a little more.
Yeah, if I were Bud Steele, I'd probably hop right in the 2nd lane. You got over 50 laps to go. See if you try and make it to the end. There's no real point of pushing the issue right now.
Yeah, but I did see there, though, was that 5. He was kind of peeking to the top, but just didn't have anyone to go with him. So we'll have to keep an eye on JD Crows. I think if that momentum shifts, and yep, there it goes. He's going to jump to the top, saw Bud Steele, get the momentum going. And so he said, okay, I tried pushing you. That didn't work. Why don't you try pushing me and see if we can make this lane work this way? So we'll see if the 5 and the 5 and the 6 is maybe a better combo than the 6 and the 5, if you will. So you see double move
look
there.
At that move. Yeah.
That's some teamwork right there by BK Anderson there and Cody Nagels. Like I said, I believe you said those guys are teammates. So
yes, they are.
That was as coordinated as you get right there. Those two.
And looks that they're going to clear up. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, so if you're looking for the example of teamwork, that was it right there. Jumped out at the same time, dropped right back down to the bottom at the same time. Very, very impressive by BK and Cody there.
I don't think I've ever seen that before here in NESS series.
Yeah, that was some synchronized passing right there between those two, and you can see they've been able to hold it as well. Let's say that second and third lane starting to wobble a little bit, but now here goes Cody. He's actually going to say, oh, you know what? Let me try that middle lane. And let's say JD Crow said, yeah, okay, you can go there, but I'm going to go back up top. So these guys nobody's going to be happy in the lanes they're in currently, it looks like.
Yeah, JD Crow's getting a huge amount of momentum.
Oh, that was close.
That was very close for contact there.
So that's JD trusting his spotter completely there to sneak in front of that 6 of Cody Nagels there, and saying he did though, and it worked. So now he's able to lead that second lane as he was up in that third lane. Initially got the push he needed from Bud. Well, yeah, these guys, I say we have crossed the halfway point. We're at 49 to go now, and saying it seems like I think these drivers are aware of it because it looks like it's starting to just ramp up a little bit more here.
Yeah, I'm watching Derek Walker here. I think he's still 1 lap down. Am I correct there, sir?
Yes, right now it's still the battle for that Lucky Dog is still it's behind between Derek Walker, Zachary Workman, and again just it's lap after lap. It ebbs and flows because I've been watching the timing score, and right now it's about 0.08 of a second between the two of them. So it just really depends on kind of which lane is going better at the time for which drivers ahead of each other. So again, if there's a caution, as long as they're not involved, this is a very tight battle for that Lucky Dog spot between that 18 on the inside and that Instacart Supra. And of course, then the Camaro, the Twitch TV Camaro of Derek Walker. But that being said, though, coming up, I say not sure. I would say we definitely missed something, Matt, because unfortunately Todd Siebels is 1 down, about to go 2 down here in that 45 machine.
Really?
So unfortunately something happened to Todd that I missed on my side. So he's going to go 2 down here. But once again, he saw drops to the apron, just the respect these guys are giving for one another here. But what we didn't talk about, Matt, is we are down to under 50 to go. And so again, they last pitted at lap number 40 to 41, depending if they topped off or not. So that's going to be the next question, to see when these guys start blinking to make those pit stops, and when do they want to do it? Do they split them evenly? Do they run this one long, the last one short? There's a lot of ways to play this game, especially with the potentials of teammates to make that strategy help.
That's pretty unfortunate there for Todd Seal, but I think he has some kind of like probably an issue on the other side of iRacing things.
Yes, I know he does run VR, so yeah, it definitely is a potential here. So right now, as they've talked about that Lucky Dog battle, you see that 14, that green, white, and orange car on the inside. I'll say that's right now currently our Lucky Dog driver as they stand up. I say you see Derek, that third lane kind of fizzled out, so he's had to drop back to the middle lane. That's about 2 car lengths behind. So again, I say there's kind of that race within the race, and you can see Derek, he wants to get there. He wants to try to get that top side going, but right now just doesn't have the help he needs. So he's going to have to try to find a friend to work with him. But right now just doesn't have what he needs, because you can see there's just nobody else behind him. And so these guys are kind of settling in. It kind of has that feel now here, Matt.
So if I was in Derek's shoes, I would probably take the risk of falling back and knowing, see if my opposition gets caught up in a wreck, and then he'll be able to get his lap back.
Yeah, I mean, it is always a potential, because these guys are running so hard. As I said, there it is, Matt, right in the tri-oval.
Oh, we got involved.
Yeah, Derek Walker involved, and actually, so is the 18 here. As you see a few guys trying to sneak through. You got guys trying to go through the pits. Look at Michael Spell, just comes to a complete stop at pit road exit to not get caught up in that one. Unfortunately, that was his exactly just as we say it. And yeah, so
I've been a bad boy.
Yeah, we talked about the commentator's curse. I had one. This is yours, Matt, and I think that might be a Green Light Checkered TV curse, honestly, because at this point, the question mark though is going to be again with, unfortunately, those guys being involved in the incident. You see the 20 there, just nose is gone. We saw the 18 slide through as well. Was Todd Siebels involved? Because if not, he even being 2 down, it might go to him. So we'll have to take a look.
Yes, you are correct. He did not get involved.
Let's take a look, Matt, see what exactly happened here. It was up front. So let's go try to hunt this down here. And once again, it was like at the absolute front of the field here. So I want to keep an eye around. I think it was near Donald Sadusky, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll take a closer look. Oh, you're actually, no, I'm sorry, it was BK Anderson. That's right. let's back it up here one more time here. It was BK Anderson and Cody Nagel's making contact with one another. So unfortunately, we saw the teammates working so well earlier. But unfortunately here you can see, I think it's again, though, you see the 19, 17. I think the 17 just tried to follow the 19 there and just wasn't quite clear. And you see the 18, that's where he goes around. And then you see up on the top side, in front of the 20 of Derek Walker, that's where he gets a piece of it. And then unfortunately just from there, kind of the ricochets, everybody's starting to kind of go back and forth around the track. It's just a guessing game of where is going to be the cleanest place to go on track. But the car I need to focus on, I think, here, though, Matt, is this 20 right here. Michael Spell, because he's in the thick of this wreck here.
And
but
slams on the brakes.
He literally comes to a complete stop not to get involved in this wreck. He drops down to the apron here, and then it looks like it's clear. Oh, here comes Donald Stewart. You can already see the fronts. They're locked. He's got the 35 just to his inside. You got the 10 right in front of him, and just parks it. And zero contact with any of those cars. So I'm going to say avoidance of there right there. Michael Spell, hats off to you, sir. That is some very, very impressive wreck avoidance there. Probably going to be some black flags having to be cleared, unfortunately, as well, though, with that, just because of some drivers going through the pit exit. That always throws black flags. Usually the admins will take care of those and clear them out. So we do see, yeah, you're exactly right, Matt, though. Todd Siebel's, you see him, there he goes. He's waving around. So he was 2 down. Now back to 1 down. He's going to get that lap back, which will put him in the same lap now as Zachary Workman in that 18, as well as Derek Walker in the 20. However, I'm not sure. We mentioned earlier we talked to Derek. He had to burn that one fast repair. Not sure. Maybe he had to already use the second because that car's still sitting on pit road here. So
I think he used them up.
Might be it for him, unfortunately, tonight. So we'll keep an eye and we'll see. But we do see the 36 of Quavi Brooks. We mentioned him losing or not having his fast repair clicked on. Looks like he's going to try to get at least one of his laps back here the old-fashioned way and take that wave around when everybody else gets the one to go here, which will put him from 4 down to 3 down. So not out of the picture yet to have a chance here, but will need some help on the side of luck or of cautions, I should say, for them falling at the right time for that 36 car.
I think I've been a bad boy.
Well,
let's stop.
Let's make a positive out of a negative here, Matt. We're going to talk to that wreck avoidance of that number 88 of Michael Spell.
That's a good idea.
Or actually, no, I'm sorry, number 20 of Michael Spell, usually the 88.
Yeah.
So let's pull on Michael here, and we'll see. So while he's debating if he's going to hit pit road or not, we're going to bother him because why not? All right, so Michael, we're going to say that's probably one of the best wreck avoidances of the race here tonight because, man, you literally had to park that car, and you had a car to your left, a car to your right, a car in front of you, but able to come through unscathed. I'm going to warn you, though, so you got a TW Motorsports car right behind you in your pit entry here, so don't get caught there. But, I mean, just take us through that wreck, and, I mean, what did you see or not see? And, I mean, how did you make it through that?
I was telling them in Discord, I was like, I can't believe nothing hit me there. I was parked just like perfectly, but no, I was staying on the inside because I wanted to be able to go down to the apron and stop like that. And luckily, that's the second time it worked out for me. That was pretty crazy the way I was parked right in between them. I was like, please, nobody run into them and push them into me.
Yeah, so you park that thing to perfection there, and then also the patience to let them kind of get rolling and get going before you can get going, because always you know drivers, you all get antsy and want to say, okay, I'm gonna jump in front and try to maybe gain at least a spot or two out of that. But so you live to fight another day here. Still got plenty of time to go, over 40 laps left here. So I mean, at what point do you have to kind of just maybe take off the restraints and go after it here?
Yeah, my plan is if I've still got my fast repair left, after we make our last pit stop, I'll start trying to go to the front. I got lucky. The caution before that, I got my lap back. I had to take apart my cockpit because we're moving, so I'm racing for my desk, and my wheel came off the desk, so I had to stop and repair it and got a lap down. So I got lucky, had enough time to do that and only lose one lap.
There you go, quick hardware's repair out of that 20 of Michael Spellwell. I'll say, hopefully you're able to snug it down a little tighter and maybe turn that force feedback down a little bit too, though. But great job avoiding that one, man, and look forward to seeing you the rest of the way.
Cool, man. Thank you.
See you, man.
All right, so that's Michael Spell again, avoiding that. But yeah, so again, just the commitment these guys have. Say he's in the middle of a move, going to be moving here pretty soon. Doesn't have his normal setup, and so just like, hey, I want to race. I'm going to set it up on my desk, and maybe not as familiar with it, and has to try to keep the thing on the desk, and so that's why he had to lose that lap earlier. But up front, we got Cody Nagels, Donald Sadusky on the front row, Jack Walls and BK Anderson in row 2. As we're going to get things back going here, Matt, with 42 laps to go, so still outside the fuel window to make it to the end. So we'll see one more stop at this point to the end. No questioning on that one there. Has a great start for that 19 though as they get back through the gears.
We'll see how well our teammates play together this time.
Yeah, and that was just unfortunate, and that, I mean, it seems like that's going to be the thing to watch and keep an eye on the rest of this race, man. Just in the season in general is just that draft, and you're pushing so hard, and at some point, someone has to make a move from the top to the bottom, or vice versa, and that car pushing is like, hey, I want to follow that move with you, and just unfortunately, there's times where either the spotter might be a little bit delayed, or maybe they just kind of, again, maybe just don't quite hear the spotter in time and make that move. So, but right now up front, as I say that, there it is once more, but so far so good. They're going to try to hang on to it, and on cue there, Matt, that was exactly what had just happened there. It looked like, I'm not sure if that was BK or Cody, but just was following Dom Sadusky and just about had another big one there in front of the field, but somehow those guys quick hands, and we stay green. But man, that was a pucker moment once again.
Yes, sir. Just like I said, the A post, it blocks your view. If you're looking directly right at a car's rear bumper, you cannot see a thing. Like if you were to look at the in-car camera of BK Anderson, you would see just the rear bumper of Cody Nagels. And like I said, it's a little bit tough, but with these guys' experience, I'm sure they'll make the right adjustments.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I'm doing exactly that. I hopped on board here with BK as he's pushing Cody Nagels there. And saying again, the way from where we are, there's plenty of space. It looks like obvious and easy. The thing is, where BK is driving, he's going to be looking a lot further forward there, and like you said, he's just going to be pretty much just seeing that 6 car when he was behind him. But you're right though, that A pillar, it's definitely a pretty major blind spot. So that's definitely something that comes into play with these guys. Like I said, you've got to really trust and just kind of commit to your spotter 100% a lot of these times. But then, of course, I mean, it's plate racing. They'll say like the car low or whatever, but is the car low right next to you? Or are they a full lane down? Because you'll see these guys. I've been watching a lot of streamers. For instance, Derek Walker, who unfortunately that's it for him tonight, not having the luck he needs. You'll see them. They'll in iRacing, if you're not using VR, of course, if you're using VR, you can literally just turn your head left and right. You can see what's going on around you. But if you're using the screens, you can actually have a hotkey set to look left, look right, and so you can kind of get a rough idea of, okay, what lane are they actually in, to be able to maybe adjust your car to kind of squeeze that gap a little bit. So there's a lot going on in these races, and just short of a car high, car low, especially at Talladega, where you can run 3-4 wide if you want to. So that does come into play. As you can see, these guys are starting to jump around once again here. Kevin LaChance, haven't talked about him tonight, Matt. He's right up in the middle here. He's been up front for a good chunk of this one. I say we just kind of haven't talked about him too much yet tonight. And then also I'm looking just a little further back. Donald Stewart, we were talking about him just kind of cruising earlier. Looks like he's ready to start grabbing a little bit more aggression as well in that 78 car. And then teammate to that number 20, Dan Harrington in the 82, he's worked his way just outside the top 10 right now in that 82 machine.
I tell you, he was being quiet all night long. That 9 of Charles Johnson, sitting there buying his time.
That's a very good point. Yeah, Charles is usually, he never likes to ride. He always wants to be up there and going after it. But you're right, Charles has just been kind of calm, cool, collected here so far this race. And again, it's the find the needle in the haystack here with these TW Motorsports drivers. But he's kind of in the middle here between the 55 and the 45, if I'm not mistaken. Which,
Yes, sir.
And then going to that, we got to talk about that Lucky Dog battle once again, because right now it's that 18 car Zachary Workman. However, there's Todd Siebel's just a little bit behind him there, so that would be the potential battle for that Lucky Dog as things are currently going.
I was just trying to look between where Todd Siebel is at and where Zachary Workman is at.
It's about 3/4 second. It's a couple car lengths over a couple car lengths. Right now, that 14 is pretty safe. Or sorry, the 18 is pretty safe where he's at on track right now, because the 45 is a fair bit back. Of course, it's just trying to make sure if there's an incident that you're not involved in it. Which unfortunately, he was in a great spot at the time of the incident, but unfortunately, they just found his way back down into him. So. And you could say the same for Derek Walker. It looked like he was going to be good, and then the contact pushed some cars right up the track in his path with nowhere to go. So, it's a crapshoot. I mean, it's the best way to put it in these things.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, though, he's staying aggressive. Though he said, "Yeah, okay, I got caught in that last one, but I'm still going to go for it here."
Yeah, I don't like his position right now. If I was Zach, wherever the car goes is going to go instantly toward the wall. That's why I like running that bottom lane where he was at, but like you said, it was unfortunate he got caught up in that, but that bottom lane is probably your key where you want to be if you're trying to get your lap back.
Yeah, and especially with the buffer he has right now, I would feel more comfortable just cruising the bottom than, if you start seeing that 45 creep up in your intervals, which, that being said, he has. I mean, I'm looking now, and Todd Siebel's, like I said, he's just outside that 3x3 on the bottom lane there in his Ford Mustang. So Todd is starting to put a little bit more pressure on. That might be exactly why we saw Zachary do what he's doing and try to push himself a little bit further forward up top there. So, I mean, again, we saw earlier, it worked out perfectly for Todd. He was able to get that Lucky Dog because of the other two getting involved in that incident. So, we'll have to wait and see, but right now, we're getting down to the mat. We're down to 35 to go. Again, these guys need to go at least 10 more laps before they can hit pit road to make it to the end. But again, these guys usually will try to play a little bit cautious for that green-white checker, maybe get a little bit more fuel in the tank at the very end. So I'd say maybe 20 to go would be. I'd feel very confident to make it no matter what if you pit around that 20 to go mark.
It's quite surprising. I'm seeing Gabe Butler run back into 21st position.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to him earlier. He mentioned he had to burn that one fast repair, so I think, again, also just kind of playing it careful here at this point in the race. And also, I got to say, though, he doesn't have his usual kind of cast of supporters that he usually does. He's got Eric Laurie just a few cars back in the 071, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I don't see as many people with him. Although I think he does have JD Crow as well as one of those guys that he can work with and has worked with before. As I say that, here they go. They're going to go back 3 wide and say, look who's going to try to lead that top of that 3 lane. Is that 37
Mr. 3 lane.
It is that 37. Keith Horner loves to run that third line if he ever gets the opportunity to, and there he goes right away. You see now BK Anderson, Cody Nagels, they're going to split up and try to control the bottom and the middle lanes here. So we're back to 3x3 here as we get down to 33 to go.
Well, Keith Horner does have some great help with JD Crow pushing. One of our really good pushers in this league.
Yeah, exactly right. And also got to mention here, you see the 45, Todd Siebels. He's decided to push a little harder. He's gone to the middle now, and he is currently ahead of that 18 of Zachary Workman. So, again, that talk about the strategy. So that is right now that would put the 45 in Lucky Dog position. Need to mention the 36 Quaggy Brooks. He has hit pit road because, again, he took the way around. So, unfortunately, that's going to drop him out of the draft here. However, he's going to still come out in front of the leaders, but completely by himself. So right now, he's going to have to hope for a yellow. Otherwise, he's going to get swallowed up by the pack here in probably the next couple of laps.
I think some people are starting to think maybe getting toward the bottom because we're almost getting toward that window where you got to stop. Yeah. Possibly shorten that stop, maybe just one can of fuel, probably no tires.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I think, the question is, can these guys, how little fuel can they put in to make it within risk? Because I say now again, won't give spoilers for those that maybe haven't watched the Cup race yet, but unfortunately, there was actually one driver that didn't have enough fuel in their final pit stop. It was a really quick stop, and it looked great, but then unfortunately, just wasn't enough fuel to make it to the end. They had to actually top off at the absolute, take a splash at the absolute end of the race.
Don't remind me.
That's the risk. I mean, you take sometimes these guys up front here. You say, hey, I'm going to take the absolute minimum because if we go green to the end, I can make, like I said, maybe just put that one can of fuel in. However, if you need to play it a little extra safe, you put that second can in. That could cost you the draft here. The way you said, we talked about the 45 got around Zachary Workman. Look at him. He's jumped to the third lane. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna put things in my own hands here. I'm gonna go up top here. I'm gonna shove that 5 car for all he is worth. Try to see if I can get myself back onto the lead lap, which again right now is in that lucky dog spot, but the problem is it's just the 2 of them here, so if he can clear the 5, he might get left out on the outside on his own.
Man, I have no idea what I would do here if I was in Todd Siebel's spot. Man, he's right in a tough spot. Plus, you're getting close to that fuel window.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough decision to make. So, I mean, right now, Todd definitely having to be aggressive. And you can see right now, they're literally side by side right now between the 45 and the 18 there, 3, 1, and 2. So, again, that's the lucky dog battle right now for these two. For if there's the yellow that comes out, you can see there just in the foreground there for a split second, that 36 car. They're going to be coming up on him with a big head of steam here. So, we'll see. I suspect we'll see him drop to the inside line. Again, he stayed out to try to get one of his 4 laps back to 3 down. But unfortunately, just didn't quite pan out for him. So you can see up there he goes. He's on the apron here. I'm going to let the field swing on by. So unfortunately, that puts him back to 4 down here. So what I was going to say, Matt, though, for the 45 Todd Siebels, with this upcoming final pit stop, if I'm the TB Motorsports drivers, this is where I might start to push a little bit more here. Try to get all together here, because you want to try to pit together and try to do something a little different than the rest of the field here, just to be able to try to maybe if you can find a way to settle it amongst yourselves, it's always the better call to do. So I would like to see, if I have the opportunity again with the field like you do of TW drivers, I would try to do something maybe opposite with the rest of the field. Try to do here. So if they all pit early, you pit late, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just looking at Charles Johnson, Richard Sanchez, Dave Bingle, those TW guys. I was kind of like wondering if those guys would probably get closer to the pack right about now, because we're almost into that window.
Yeah, exactly right. And the other thing too to mention is, of course, I mean, it's 2 things. It's like, yes, they're still in the draft. However, if you're pitting from the top 5, top 10, you're basically 2 seconds ahead of those guys that are a ways back. So if you don't have a great pit stop and you're entering the pits from, like you said, maybe around where Dean Wilkinson, Gabe Butler, and them are, you've got 2 minutes, or so you've got 2 seconds of deficit. So if you have any little bobble on your pit stop, that could cost you the draft. So there's a big incentive to try to be as far up before you make your final pit stop, or any pit stop in under green in general, to kind of help your own cause.
Yeah, I totally agree, Gael. Like I said, 2 laps away, but I think we expect some drivers to hit pit road, possibly.
Yeah, I'd say, I think for sure it opens in 2 laps, but I think realistically, I think it's going to be closer to about 7 before we really see takers, unless there's some that are going to go for full risk and, like I said, just like, okay, I'm pitting here because I know I can make it to the end. If there's a green white checker, then that's a different story. So that's going to be the risk versus reward for some of these guys, is what those moves are going to be. As I say, moves right there. JD Crow, a big move to hop in front of BK Anderson, as now JD is going to take the point there in that number 5 machine, so able to clear that 17 car. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't think we'll see any takers yet. The question will be kind of which team or which driver are going to be the first to blink here.
Well, Mr. 3 Wide at it again.
Yeah, these guys are going after it here, and like you said, yeah, there's Keith Horner. He's trying to work that 3rd lane. We saw the 19 there of Kevin LaChance. He's trying to lead that 3rd pack there. I think in the middle of that is the 45 of Todd Siebels, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
Because again, he's watching the 18 car, because now the 18, he's gotten back around here. So these guys are fighting hard. As you see right there, though, BK Anderson returning the favor. He sneaks right back in front of that number 5. So these guys are going after tooth and nail right now. And I think, like I said, I think for me, for the strategy, if I'm the 45 of Todd Siebels, I think I kind of put it into the hands of my pit crew and my teammates here. I think you try to pit with them, and you just try to nail that entry. We've seen Todd Siebels; he's very good getting in and out of pit road. So I would say that would be one of my picks to make that strategy.
I see some of the guys are mostly dropped down to the bottom lane here.
Yeah, you can see the outside line starting to completely fizzle out. So this is where now these guys are thinking, okay, it's about pit stop time. We got to start getting ready. Again, they pitted at lap number 56, so they should be able to go to about lap 70 or so safely. So I think a lot of these guys should have about 5 laps left in the tank, if I'm not mistaken. I think my numbers are off there. Lap number 80, I'm sorry. Math is hard. So I do think this would be the opportunity to do that. But the other side of the coin here, Matt, what I'm thinking, if you're those guys that have been cruising and saving fuel this whole run, this is where I want to jump to the top here. This is where I want to start making those big moves, because you know these guys are getting to the bottom because they're getting ready to pit. Hopefully you've been saving some fuel running that bottom lane this whole time. Now's the time to make those big pushes to the top. Try to make that way when you pit, again, you're in that top 5 or so range. So we'll see, but yeah, I think now the question is going to be, again, who's going to be the first to blink here, because we are now easily in the window. 24 to go, 23 at the line.
Just looking back there, where Dean Wilkinson, you see that big herd of TW guys. Yeah, here they come. Most of everybody's coming down pit road.
Oh yeah, it's a big.
All the TW guys are coming down here.
Oh, we got contact.
Oh, there. Little contact.
That was the 19. Oh, we got another one involved there as well. The 9, Charles Johnson. Oh, the 19's back into the 9 again. That's the last thing those guys wanted. So now the question is, of course, those that were able to get through cleanly, how the rest of that cycle is going to go. So now that's the first attempt here. So now the question is, how do these next drivers react? Do they come in immediately, or do they say, okay, we'll see how organized they are maybe, and then we try to push a little harder?
Wow. It's a little bit too much on the brake bias there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is just how aggressive you are on the brakes and everything, the bias and all that. So we'll see if we get a response, and we do. So it's going to be Cody Nagels coming in with BK Anderson. Who else you got in there? You got Vicente's in there, Alberto, Jim Brooks, Jack Walls, Bud Steele. So, Ryan Kelly, big slide on the entry there. Hopefully got down to speed. And Andy Brigante as well. So that's going to leave now 4 more drivers here to stay out who have yet to make their final stop. But the one that I'm looking at that I'm a little nervous about is that 27, because he is off on his own here without any drafting help. And also these leaders, though, they only have 3 cars with them. So this going long here may not be the right call for these top 3.
Well, Kyle, you hit the nail on the head. That was a great pit stop by the 45 there.
And that's going to be the next thing to look at. Is once everybody cycles through, we'll see where the running order is. As Jay Hilliard and Keith Horner, looks like they're going to kind of complete the pit stop cycles here at coming to 21 to go. So let's jump back to see where the leaders are going to be after the cycles are complete, which looks like it's going to be, at the moment, Cody Nagel's going to win this race off of pit road. He's got Vicente there, BK Anderson, Alberto Lopez, Jack Walls, all tagged onto the back of him pretty tightly here. Jim Brooks is starting to catch that field as well. So we got to try to find where's the next pack of those that pitted. And here it is, being led by Dean Wilkinson with that head of steam. However, Matt, they're about 3.5 seconds back. So unfortunately, that early pit stall hasn't worked for them in the sense of getting back to the front. However, what's not said and done yet is the fact that, they've got a pretty solid drafting pack. But yeah, now the question is for the Lucky Dog side of things, where's Todd Siebels? Yeah, he is in this lead pack right in the thick of it. So then we look for a 14 car just rolling off a pit road here. So that Lucky Dog battle looks like it's going to reform here, because that's a great pit stop by that 18 as well. So job done by the 14 and the 40, or the 18 and the 45 here. Now it's just going to be who can basically get back out in front with these guys. But this is going to get pretty dicey here because now they can't play as nice because, again, they've got what they got to the end here, so they got to stay aggressive.
Yeah, if I was Todd, I would quickly back out of this so you can get the lucky dog. Go, save it.
Say that.
Wow, what a save. He saved that.
He's still saving it. I think he's finally got it settled in, but the problem is something's going wrong with this 45.
I think there's something wrong with this.
Oh, caution's going to come out with that, though, because you're right, that car, yeah, there's something like almost like the wheel or something disconnected.
Yeah.
Because, that car, right. Because it basically just came to a stop, like everything locked up. You see, now he's finally starting to roll again. But, man, the fact that what just happened and nobody else is involved is beyond me. The save he did first was impressive, and I have a feeling possibly him sawing up that wheel was what kind of maybe disconnected his connection or something like that. But yeah, we'll go back here. We'll take one more look at this thing because that was a big moment.
That was
there.
Scary.
And yeah, it looked like there's just slight contact between the 45 and the 51.
My next question, Gael, is he going to get his lap back?
I do not believe he will because at the time of the yellow, I think the 18 was in front of him here. But we'll watch here because here's the 45. And yeah, he just tries to squeeze into a gap that wasn't quite clear of the 51. And like I said, that's where you can see, it looks like at that point he's going straight into pit road. But then he hangs on to it here. And at this point, he's just trying to chase that car. And look at this, he almost gets into the side of the 18 car, but just avoids him. But then right here afterwards, it seems like you can see the wheel's completely locked to the left there, as if something kind of just froze on his equipment, like a wheel or something. Because then at this point, the car just locks down the right front and nothing's happening. But right there, it's Andy Bergante, I think it was, that made a big avoiding action there as well. So hats off to him to sneak through that as well. So. That's a tough one for the 45. Was right in the thick of it. Just had that little bit of contact. So what this does, though, Matt, is this is a big break, though, for some of those TW drivers that were about 3 seconds off the pack. We know everybody's good to go on fuel. We won't see much pit strategy here, I don't think. And yeah, I do believe it's going to be that 18 of Zachary Workman get his lap back. So we'll step away here under this yellow, and we'll get back to go on the one to go. All right, so we're quick on one to go here, Matt Bose. We pulled in the number 17 of BK Anderson. All right, so BK, you've been in the thick of a lot of craziness here with the teammates and everything going on. And say I mean, there was one move where it looked like it was the same car driving both cars there between you and Cody, making the move to the top to get back to the bottom there. I mean, that was perfection. Then a little later, unfortunately, didn't quite go to plan. But you found your way back up in that top 5. So, I mean, what's it going to take to get to that, from the top 5 to the top spot here at the end? So, I mean, we're getting down to it.
I'm petting the lucky rabbit's foot right now because I think it's about to get a little crazier. It's been a lot of fun up front, though. We've been darting in and out of lanes, and it's been mostly clean. Good save there at one point. The whole field did a really good job. Got loose in the tri-oval, but yeah, it's about crunch time.
Yeah, I'll say we'll let you get to it. So good luck the rest of the way, man. And I'll say I'm a little sad to see the Burger King car go, but Cheerios Pop Seed car looking good too. So man, good luck though the rest of this one.
Hopefully nobody pees in the Cheerios.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's clean to the end.
Take care, guys.
Yes, sir. I love that guy.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, he's a riotous, and I think I undid your move there for a second, so apologies on that one. Yeah, no, he's definitely a fun one to chat with. And that's the thing, is a lot of these guys, they're so much fun to work with and talk with, and kind of like I said, you kind of build friendships out of these races a lot too, and that's what I think a lot of this is all about, is be able to make these kind of friendships and say just through teamwork and even just racing with people. I mean, even on the broadcasting side, I've kind of made friends with guys that I don't get to race with very often, but yeah, so it's a lot of fun though. So Matt, say we were at 17 to go. We were talking to the driver of that 17 car. We're going to restart this thing with 16 to go. And I'm seeing a lot of TW Motorsports drivers starting to creep up in the field a little bit here as we go back to green. Say we again, no question marks here. Everybody's good to go to the end on fuel. As once again, though, Donald Sadusky getting through the gears very well in that 19 car. Just the downside is he's on the outside lane, but already a great start, though, getting a good push here from that 5 and 83 here.
Yeah, he's been very solid all season long. Just haven't had the luck. I remember the last season race, he got caught up in the very last instant. Just almost got that win. I was really rooting on him, but we'll see how it pans out here as he takes the lead here, goes straight to the bottom.
Yeah, and say a great move for him. And say another thing that's just one of those things that these guys are able to do is you always see that paint scheme on that car, as say remembering Ryan, as say in remembrance of his son. So it's one of those things. I mean, it's those little things that you can do, and it kind of brings a smile to your face out of a sad occasion. But to be able to do these things and just like I said, to bring a memory of things like that to him. So it's really been cool to see him. We've got to do some interviews with him over the course of a few seasons as well, and yeah, so it's always fun to see Donald up and at it with these guys, because he's one of these guys to watch at these plate races. As long as he can keep that car available at the end, I say he'll go. But man, right now I'm looking, and that TW train, it looks like it's just about to form. But you got up top there, you got Donald Stewart. He's like, yeah, you guys can line up here, but you can line up here behind me.
I see Jack Walls getting very racy and being aggressive with that push over JD Crow in that 5 car.
Yeah, it's about to be a TW party up here in the top lane, though. You see the 59 there, Jay Hilliard. He's going to try to lead that 3rd lane now. But you can see, I mean,
you ain't kidding.
A train of TW Motorsports starting in the 3rd lane. Still got a couple that haven't found their way together, but I'll say if you're looking for a photo op here for those TW drivers, I'll say you're just about there. But we're down to the amount 14 to go. Like I said, inside Donald Sadusky, middle is JD Crow. Yeah, so these guys are going to start to squeeze each other a little tighter, push a little harder. Saying that's usually where things start to get a little more wild at the end of these races. So right now you're feeling pretty good if you're towards the top of this pack, and if you're a little further back, you're going to start to try to figure out, okay, what lane is going to be the lane I need to go to get me to that point that I want to be at. Speaking of which, look at Ryan Kelly. We haven't talked about him. We talked about him just kind of being calm and cool and just chilling, really. So he's now up in the mix here. He's up that 3rd lane trying to push Michael Speld up front here. We saw Michael Speld that great wreck avoidance earlier in the race, so he's trying to get that 3rd lane rolling as well. But so far, this middle and inside lane, it's tough to compete with these guys right now. They're just really pushing very well organized. You don't see a lot of movement from any of them. And yeah, they're going at it right now.
Don't be the commentator's curse, because I'm not going to say a thing. I'm going to sit here and watch all these guys, man. I'm watching. There's one particular driver that I'm going to watch just quietly, probably make his way toward the front. It's probably that 9 car of Charles Johnson. Now, he's very aggressive pusher. So I'm going to keep my tabs on him probably here in the next 5 laps. I've probably seen him all the way toward the front here.
Yeah, so this is where it gets difficult, though, too, because you want to make those big moves and get to the front. But the problem is everybody else has the exact same agenda. And, I mean, that's what we've been seeing in that 3rd lane. We saw the 59s up there, then the 20 found his way up there. Now the 10 found his way up there for Alberto Lopez. You saw Dan Harrington. He was thinking about it. He stays middle for now. But that's the thing is everybody's got the same idea here. If you're pinned on the bottom, you're kind of stuck. You're at where you're at. But if you see someone jump to the middle lane, that's where you're like, okay, I can make that 3rd lane happy once that momentum shifts. But yeah, right now, I'll say like you said, for the jinx on this thing, we're going to say everybody in the top 28 has a very good chance to win this race, Matt.
Wow.
And if there's a 28 car wreck, I will completely take full blame for that one. So I'll say if I'm going to go big, I'm going to go big or go home on my predictions here.
Yeah, I'd rather not see that. I want to see a good finish. Because we had some great finishes here about last year, Gael.
Oh no, we had one race where it went to the 10,000ths of a second to try to figure out who won that race. I mean, yeah, we've had some amazing finishes here, and yeah, it's so much fun and to see what these guys do, the strategies, and then of course once it comes time to kind of go for broke. I mean, we've seen blown motors in the final lap trying to push that teammate or friend or whoever it may be to the win. So we already seen one motor pop tonight, so hopefully we won't see it again. These guys definitely got to watch their temperatures. As you see, JD Crow got the push he needed from Jack Walls. He takes the point now, drops back to the inside line. And now you see the 83 and the 6. You saw them working together earlier, but still Jack Walls. It's a pretty solid combo here with those two. And in the middle lane, no less. So I kind of feel like that middle lane is where you want to be, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to be at 10 to go here at the line. So, I mean, that's a lot of time.
Whoa.
Oh, see that contact with
Save it. Did he save it?
He did, but then we got contact in the back. That's going to bring out the yellow. Indeed, it does. Double zeros around. Unfortunately, Gabe Butler, he went for a bit of ride. Looks like he's going to hang on to... Actually, he's coming to a stop here. That might be the night for that 88, unfortunately. But yeah, Eric Laurie also involved. And yeah, he had it saved. But then, unfortunately, it just didn't quite pan out for him there. So let's go back. We'll take a look here. As we see that, we'll try to go back, try to find that incident here. Yeah, you can already see it's all kicking off. So let's go back just a little further here. Try to find Vicente to see where that all kicked off. Again, we were talking about everybody was kind of starting to squeeze and get a little tighter on each other. And it looks like Dan Harrington and Vicente are the ones that got together here. We'll take a closer look. And
I think Vicente is all right. He caught a little bit of netcode there.
Yeah, it looks like Vicente just drifted up a little bit too much there in the trial. It looked like Dan was where he needed to be. And then, yeah, great job hanging on to this car for Vicente. The problem was then afterwards, everybody was just kind of reacting to it. You see, actually avoids the cone there as well. And then hangs on to it. But you see right there, this is where the reaction starts. Robert Rock saw what was happening. He tries to slow down to avoid it. And then, unfortunately, that gets Eric Laurie. And then in the process also catches Gabe Butler. And that sends them down into the infield. I think we also saw the 00 involved as well. And it looks like actually... Gabe I think has this thing saved. A great job at the 88 to keep that car together. But yeah, it looks like he went ahead and retired after that one. So unfortunately, early end to the night for that number 88 machine. And then, yeah, so back under yellow here. So we'll go back live once again. But you're right, though. I think out of all of that, though, I think Vicente's okay. Just unfortunately a big loss of track position. But yeah, it's going to get us down to it here. We're going to be restarting this thing with single digits, though, with now Jack Walls at the point. So say once again, not a lot of strategy going on here, so we'll step away and we will get back here on the one to go. So stay tuned because we're going to be down to it here on this final restart. We'll be close to 5 to go when we get back to green. right, so as you can see, lights are about to go off, but we're going to pull in something that's been in a lot of stuff here tonight. That's going to be that 45 Todd Siebels. Importantly, you're back on the lead lap, but I mean, you had, I mean, a hell of a save earlier on, a few laps back there, and then it seemed like kind of just maybe your car's like, nah, I'm done here. Was that just maybe the wheel losing connection, or, I mean, because let's say you saved that car somehow, and then it just like locked up and kind of had it just crank to the left there at the end, and somehow, say everybody else was able to avoid you, but that looked like definitely a bit of a moment for you.
10-4, Gale. I'm having an issue with my wheel whenever I get in a wreck or there's some sudden movement, I guess, or excessive movement. It just locked up everything, the brakes, everything locked up. Oftentimes it just goes full throttle. I have to reach back and reset it. Thankfully I saved the car before it slammed on the brakes. And in addition to that, I don't think I injured anybody out there.
So I was wondering, is that how you went down a lap the first time around?
No, I'm ashamed to tell you what happened. I don't know what it is. I got paddle shifters, and why did I put it in third and blew my engine in turn 2? It was the first time I've ever done that. And I just happened to coast and made it to the pits. I was 2 laps down, and I can't believe I've recovered and I'm on the lead lap.
Yeah, saying that's the next part. Say we'll do it quick here, but say that was the next question. I mean, you've been having to fight tooth and nail for that Lucky Dog battle. You and the 18 were going after it.
That was fun.
And so I mean, it was. I mean, how stressful is that? Like, I mean, I know it's a fun race, but I mean, you always want to be in that position. I mean, how hard was that to try to fight so hard for so long to try to be that Lucky Dog?
I was enjoying it. I don't know. It made another race in itself. I was digging it, and I guess I went down on somebody, just barely clipped. I got 0x for the race so far, but I'm not sure you guys saw the replay. I don't know what happened. But
okay.
It was could you tell?
Yeah, it was just a little bit of contact with the 51, but yeah, right. I mean, it was just you that kind of slid there. But that being said, though, I know we got a long travel here, but we'll let you get back to it with your teammates, man. Good luck. I say 6 to go here.
Yeah, we're just gonna cruise and wait for the next accident, and then get up in the front. And
all right, go get him, Todd.
All right, Todd.
Thanks, gentlemen.
I'll let you go. See you, buddy.
You bet.
All right, that's Todd Siebels there, Matt. So yeah, back on the lead lap, I'll say, but he's been fighting all race long. So, but in the thick of it here, so I'll say that's going to leave the 25 drivers back on the lead lap, as it's going to be Jack Walls, JD Crow leading the field back to green. Jack's got, but again, he's got Bud Steele behind him. But man, I'm looking at that outside line because you've got again JD Crow, Donald Sadusky. Those are very stout combos here as they get a great start here once again going through the gears.
Those guys are very aggressive.
Say the thing is, it's one thing to be aggressive, but there's another to be aggressive, but kind of in the right way. They're really good at being aggressive when they need to be. So we'll see. Again, we're still outside of green-white checker territory at this point in the race, but again, the way it works is if there's a late yellow, they will rack them up, and I believe it's up to 3 attempts that they have here at Area 51. However, on the 3rd attempt, if there's a caution before the white flag, at that point, it will be finished under the scoring at the time of the yellow. However, in any of those cases, if we get to the white flag, from then on, the race is on. Whoever gets to the line first, within reason, of course, admin rules prevail, will be the one to win this race. So right now, it's JD Crow, Jack Walsh trying to be the one to get to that point, but look at the outside line. They're starting to go once again here.
Yeah, I was watching Jay Hilliard and Don Stewart. Who is going to be the driver to jump right in front of Jay Hilliard?
Oh, bubble. They're good.
Little comment. I'm thinking Keith Horner. How did I know that?
I think you're just trying to time it to see if you could time it as soon as he made that jump, which was about near perfect. So well done there. But I don't.
Sir got in the wall.
Yeah, we got a big one here in 3 and 4. Kevin LaChance is in it. He said that 78 as well. So it's Brian Grimm and Donald Stewart, Charles Johnson here. It was like Richard Sanchez as well. So unfortunately, a good chunk of the TW guys involved in this
Charles
one.
Johnson got.
However, again, if they've still got some fast repairs in their belts, they'll still be okay here. They just got to make it to pit road, take that fast repair, and they'll have up to 3 attempts because this should put us into that green-white checker territory here at this point. So, we'll definitely see some drivers hit pit road here to get those fast repairs done. So let's go back though. Let's take a look at that contact because it was that 3rd lane. Unfortunately, just a little bit of contact at the very top there. So let's try to take a better look. You already see it as at that point. You already see the 78 up in the wall. So I say we got to back it up here once more. See if we can get a better angle of it here as they go into 3. And actually, it looks like. I say I'm wondering if the 70. Yeah, I think the 78 just kind of lost his marker entering 3, and yeah, just catches the wall a little bit, and then at that point. You see the 24 gets in the back, who then gets into the 510. Then the 9 gets hooked. Ryan Kelly, unfortunately, gets a piece as well. And then right in the back, you see the 00, the 19. Kevin Chance looks like he has it cleared, but then just can't quite make it. But I'm watching that 00, Jason Hand, I think just squeaks on by there. So once again, some pretty good moves by some of these guys here. I'm going to say we'll go back. Let's watch this from Jason Hand's point of view here. Because he was right in the thick. We'll go at speed as well, and then yeah, he just I'll say a little bit of connectivity issues, but yeah, it makes the sharp left to avoid the first section, goes back right, and gets through that one. So he's able to live to see another day here. So we'll jump back live though, because the safe field's coming through, and once again, no real strategy. So we'll take advantage of this break here. We'll step away, and we'll get things back going here once again on the 1 to go. All right, so we've got our next victim of the interview. That is going to be the 82 of Dan Harrington. Unfortunately, your teammate is no longer in this one, but hopefully his fan base is still here supporting you, because I say it looks like you and him were working together tonight. And you've been in the thick of some wild action here tonight, but you're in the thick of it here. Looks like we're going to restart around 5th or 6th position. Have you made any friends that aren't maybe formal teammates to try to help you out, or you're just going to try to just go where momentum takes you? I mean, what's the strategy here?
I'm usually a go with the flow kind of guy. I've been noticing a lot of names tick off, as in another league I have a bunch of teammates who have cars that are painted similar to mine in design. I've been seeing a lot of them disappear off the track though too, so it's like I'm really out here alone.
Well, you got some really good pushers behind you. You got let's see, you got that Cody Nagels right behind you.
Cody right behind. Yeah, that's not a bad one to have.
Yeah, that is not a bad one to have right behind you. And you got one of those TW Motorsports guys, Dave Bingle. He's been quietly sitting about mid-pack all race long, and when time comes, he's going to help you give that push.
Yeah, it's all about finding, trying to guess right on when you jump in that third lane. Are they going to go with you, or are they going to leave you to hang?
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Was going to be, are you going to try to stay kind of middle, or do you want to try to be that first one to kind of try to lead that third lane if and when it opens up, which it's going to be a win, not an if.
Oh yeah. It's you just have to watch for it, and you just have to try and get into the head of the people around you. What are they going to do? If I do this, what are they going to do? You know.
No, so good luck. Hopefully, find some friends. So you still got a few minutes, or not a few minutes, but so you got a little bit here. You say just do a quick voice chat over there. Say, hey, who wants to be my friend in the draft here at the end? Maybe you can find some buddies here, maybe some guys that are rolling solo like you are tonight, man. Good luck though. Hopefully, I say maybe we can get a top 3 here with you here in just a moment as well. So good luck.
Cool, thank you.
All right, so that was the 82 of Dan Harrington, currently in the 6th position. So front row, though, Matt, is going to be J.D. Crow, Jack Walls. And you got Donald Sadusky and Bud Steele. Once again, though, the 6 and 83, they line up together. But, I mean, we saw in the last restart that 5 and the 19 were very, very stout together on the outside line. So wouldn't be surprised to see them do the same here on the inside. So I think really the question mark is going to be that third car. Because, again, you don't really ever want to push the pusher. But the closer you are, the more you help that line kind of push forward. So yeah, we'll see. Say this is going to be green white checkered attempt number 1. Again, it should be up to 3 here.
I am watching Donald Sadusky. He is right now glued to the back of J.D. Crow right now, just waiting for that green flag to fall.
Yeah, so everybody's going to start to get a little, again, even more greedy, even more aggressive, bigger pushes, bigger side drafts as green flag gets back. He goes down and away here. So again, green white checker attempts number 1. Great start from that outside line, though, the 83 and 6.
Now, will Jack Walls duck down low or stick with his teammate there, Bud Steele? No, he looks like he's going to stick with Bud Steele.
Yeah, I think his hand was forced. I don't think he was ever cleared enough to get to the bottom.
Yeah, Alberto Lopez thought about pushing it 3 wide there. He had that big momentum, but he had no one to go with.
Yeah, the question is, who's going to make the move when? You saw Cody waited till the last second to hop up top, so he's going to now get that push from those TW drivers. We'll see, does anybody else have an opportunity to jump in front of them? Because right now you see Alberto's just at the edge of maybe being able to hop up there. The question is, does he take it or not? Again, if they can get to the white from that point on, this race will go to the finish. However, they got to make it through this tri-oval first here, Matt, so we'll see what they got here through the tri-oval. As a lot of bobbles, it's moving. Looks like we will get that white flag, though. 1 to go. J.D. Crow has it on the white flag. Let's see who gets the checker.
Yeah, I'm watching that momentum, but if Bud Steele's got to stay in line right behind Jack Walls.
At this point, I don't think you're going to see the front 2 here. I don't think the 5 and the 19 are going to move, and I don't think the 83 and the 6 are going to move. The question is going to be that third car in line is that 10 of Alberto Lopez, the 82. We just talked about Dan Harrington. He's going to try to make that push to the top now. But again, a lot of motion side to side here. So right now it's looking, that was jumbled up, little side drafting gone wrong there. But still everybody's hanging on here, so we'll see. Right now J.D. Crow's looking good, but he's still got to get through this tri-oval. Oh, Michael Spell trying to pick low.
Michael Spell!
But at the line, it's going to be J.D. Crow getting the win over Jack Walls. And then third looks like we'll go to Bud Steele, if I'm not mistaken. And so, so J.D. going to get the win here tonight. And we'll go back. We'll take a look at that coming to the checker there. Because, I think I saw just for a split second, I think I saw that same opening that the 20 was looking at. Unfortunately, that hole kind of closed there at the very end. But, man, what a finish here. We'll take a look here. Watch that 20 of Michael Spell on the inside. You can see, he's got room there. And just unfortunately, that hole again. Everybody's going to start to squeeze a little tighter, and that's right there, the contact between the 19 and the 20 there. And then from there, it's just kind of all bets are off as they come through the start finish line here. As you can see, the 51, the 6, they're all trying to squeeze on through here. But everybody's behind that 5 of J.D. Crows. He's going to hang on easily to get the win there. And they had the 83 and the 6, though they stuck together the whole way. And then from 4th on back, 3 wide all the way across the line. All right, so with that, that's going to put J.D. Crow as our winner here, Matt. But before we get to our interviews, let's go ahead and pull up our final results for tonight. As it's going to be J.D. Crow over Jack Walls by just under a tenth. Then Bud Steele there in 3rd. Jim Brooks in 4th. Alberto Lopez a top 5. Then Dan Harrington, we just talked to, winds up in 6th. Keith Horner, Jay Hilliard, B.K. Anderson, Robert Rock are top 10. And then Dean Wilkinson, Donald Stewart, Vicente Guerrero, Todd Siebels recovers to a 14th. Cody Nagels, Dave Bingle, Randy Miner, Richard Sanchez in the top 18. And again, a lot of drivers to sort through here, though. You got Jason Hand, like mentioned, Matt, his first oval race. Looks like in 27th position. Ryan Kelly in 20th. And then, unfortunately, those that did not make it to the finish there, Donald Sadusky, Michael Spell, 1 lap down. And then those that had early retirements tonight. Brian Grimm, Charles Johnson, Kevin LaChance, Zachary Workman, Andy Brigante, Gabe Butler. And then you have Eric Laurie, Quabi Brooks, Brandon Briggs, Derek Walker, Chad Wilkes, Paul Sheldon, Robert DuPont, Michael Taylor, Austin Randolph, and Jimmy Crow Jr. And then we get to the final end of the order. We got Andrew Schroeder, Edwin Outlaw, Jackson Carr, Tom Dixon, and Jason Middleton.
What a race!
Yeah, that was a wild one. I'd say at the end, though, that we talked about the 5. He was going to be one to watch. That was going to probably be to keep an eye on to get the win here tonight. And indeed, he was able to get it done. So we got to go through some drivers, though. But we got to kick it off with that third place finisher here. And that is going to be that number 6 of Bud Steele. So let me hunt him down here. We can get a word in.
Got you covered.
And we're going to pull in that number 6 car. So, I mean, say you and Jack look, I mean, you guys were hooked together the last section of the race. It was either you two on the inside line, you two on the outside line. You guys looked like you're very, very committed with one another there and just didn't quite have enough to get the 1-2 there, but still second and third, a pretty solid result here tonight.
Yeah, that last restart there, that was kind of rough. Yeah, I don't know if I was moving or Jack was moving. I couldn't tell, but it was probably me. I just didn't stay locked on to him, square enough for that whole last lap there. So Jack should have, I should have been able to push him on up there, but I feel kind of bad about that. But yeah, it was a interesting race though.
Yeah, it was kind of you both, but all the solid. You've been running up toward the front all race long, making some noise. I know you're looking forward to this upcoming season.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, me and JD, we hooked up several times up top, and I think I got him clear one time, and he's probably sorry that he didn't go ahead and take it then. But it kind of looks like things worked out well for him anyway. So good job, JD.
Yeah, it was definitely, like I said, a pretty wild one tonight. And obviously the little bit longer race with it being the fun race, kind of the kick off the things before the season starts next week, or I should say on Monday with the next gen. Of course, here will be next week, the season opener. And obviously it's kind of like the way I take these races is kind of in 25 lap segments. So I mean, was there any difference in kind of your mindset in the race, knowing it's just the 100 laps instead of the typical 75, or do you kind of just reset it at maybe at the lap 25 mark? Is that okay, now it's the normal 75 lap race since I'm used to? Or I mean, do you do anything different with stuff like tonight than the regular season?
No, not really. It was just another 25 lap segment there. If we would have, got the green flag stops in, it'd have been a whole different race. Yeah, the fuel, yeah, you could go 26 and maybe go 27 if you're really saving, but we really never got a chance to try anything fuel mileage wise.
Yeah, I mean, still say regardless, still a great result for you. Like I said, obviously not quite how you wanted to end up. I mean, still second and third for you and Jack locked on together. Saying actually looking at the list here, it's saying that you got Jim there in fourth. So I'll say you old guys, let's say second, third, and fourth, a pretty solid result for the OGs of Area 51, if you will, here tonight.
Yeah, how about that? We're not through yet, so by no means. This will be a good year though. Good season here.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. The break was nice, but it's always good to get busy again, get back to the racing. So great job tonight, though, Bud. And definitely before we let you go, want to give you a chance for some thanks and shouts for your podium here tonight.
Oh, thanks y'all for stepping up and doing the broadcast of this fun race tonight, and looking forward to hopefully being able to talk to you guys sometime during this next season. So yeah, thanks to you and everybody at Area 51, especially your dad. Love him to death, and also my wife. So I don't want to leave her out. Best thing ever happened to me. So, but thanks y'all very much.
Great great job
Thanks.
tonight, man. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you up here a bunch of the rest of the season. So good luck the rest of the way.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
All right, so we're going to go from one Roswell driver, Matt, to a second Roswell driver, and this one's going to be that ever bright and shiny yellow number 83 of Jack Walls. So we're going to pull Jack on in here. Say it was pretty much you and Bud for the last section of the race on those restarts, and say definitely got a little aggressive, a little bit of pushing, a little shoving, a little bit of side drafting. But you were right in the thick of it there. Saying we had kind of two opportunities, once on the inside line, once on the outside line. Did you have a preferred line for where you wanted to have your car situated on those last restarts there?
Yeah, I think the outside line was going to be better chance on winning. So that's so that one restart where I started first, I thought, well, that's going to be it. I'm not going to get it. So I was glad to see the second restart.
So, what was your right frame of mind? I know you've been running up front pretty much the whole night. You and Jack and you and JD been working pretty good together.
Yeah, my plan was just not to make any fancy moves, just to try and stay out of trouble, which I did for the most part. I got tagged very lightly a couple times during the race, but didn't have to use my fast repair. But my plan was just to, keep it straight, stay out of trouble, and be there at the end.
I'm glad it panned out great for you. It's just more of things to come toward this upcoming season.
Well, I hope so. It was good to see that my teammates finished right behind me, Bud Steele and Jim Brooks. And Michael was in the running there too, except on coming to the start-finish line. So,
yeah, he had a nose underneath Donald there, but
yeah,
it's racing. It's racing.
Yeah, it would have been a great finish there for the Roswell team.
Yeah, it is something we haven't seen in a long time, and hopefully we get to see it this season.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. It was a good race tonight. It was good to see that many people in the race tonight. We did have quite a few cross-ins, it seemed, but overall, it was a great race for me, as it shows.
No, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, like I said, pretty much a full house here tonight. So it's a good way to kick off the season, starting up next week, or starting off tomorrow. I keep saying that. Starting off tomorrow with the Next Gen series over on Monday. So it's gonna be fun to see everybody get going there, and then like I said, bring it through Tuesday Indy, Thursday trucks, and then back here Sunday for the Xfinity cars. So it's gonna be fun to seeing you in those and see what you can do the rest of the throughout the season here tonight, Jack. But a good start, obviously, to finish up the fun race with a great result with that second spot. So definitely want to give you the floor, though. Any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that podium for the second spot here tonight?
Well, of course, I got to thank Bud there for the good push there the last couple laps, and the rest of the teammates. And of course, congrats to JD for the win, and for you guys for the broadcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, congrats again, Jack. Great run tonight, man.
Okay, have a good night.
All right, that leaves one driver left to chat with. That's going to be our race winner in that number 5 of JD Crow. Unfortunately, JD, you kind of lost a lot of your help here tonight. So it seemed like you were able to work pretty well though towards the end with Donald Sadusky. Was that something you were planning on working with tonight, or is that just something that kind of you were like, okay, hey, we're working together because I've lost Gabe, I lost Eric, just take us through kind of the course of the race, because it seemed like you kind of laid low for a good chunk until it's really getting down to it. It's like, okay, now I got to start making my move.
Well, Donald, actually, since I got on iRacing, Donald and I have raced together a lot. So, and we were in chat together tonight. So we were definitely working together. Without Donald, I wouldn't have been in a position, to really strike when it counted. And I hate that he got turned there at the end. Probably a little bit of my fault. I should have let us a little bit lower. I just was trying to keep them from getting a big run on the top, if we went to the bottom, and Donald, unfortunately, someone got under him and they got together. So he would have had a strong finish if it wasn't for me. But I hated that Gabe and, Eric had trouble. Jimmy was running with us tonight, Jimmy Crow, and he had a little bit of trouble. So, but there's guys out here that will run with us. that we'll run with as well. They kind of know our game a little bit, but there for a while, Bud and I were on the high side moving forward. And I know he mentioned earlier, he said I probably wished I would have gone low, but I just didn't want to leave Bud. I was afraid Bud would be left on the high side by himself and fall way back. So I was trying to hold it for his last possible minute for him to get clear, and then we could have moved down together. But like you said, it kind of worked out. So we'll take it.
That's kind of amazing. I kind of picked you to win this race as well, since before the race even started.
Hey, do it some more.
Usually I'm not good at that. I usually end up on the hook. So I'm like 1 for 20 at least. So
hey, there you go. There'll be another 20 come around.
Yeah. So I noticed during the start of the race. I think Gaio asked this already, but you're like the first 30 or 40 laps, you're just running like right at the back. Was there any plans to just staying at the back like the rest of the race, and then all of a sudden, here we go. Then here comes JD right up that third lane, and
well, I mean,
here you come.
I really hate the hide and ride. I just don't like that strategy at all. It's not. It just makes my skin curl every time a group wants to do that. But I really want to see what we had and what everybody else had. So you only figure that out if you can jump to the high side and see if you can charge up and who you can charge up front with. So and it's it's one of the safest places to be most of the time. So I like it up there. Gives us a chance to push some guys around and see if they'll work with us later, or see who's is going to kill our runs and not be able to carry the momentum up there. So we know who we don't want to go up there with before the race is over. So you gotta figure all that out early, because you don't want to figure it out with 2 to go.
Oh yeah, that's I totally understand it. You did have a few friends up there, but unfortunately did not finish the race. So
I know we had some guys jump up there when we got some runs that had a little bit more damage than they thought they had, so it kind of killed that. And that's then I'd find a hole and jump out, try to get back up to lead it. So it all worked out. Like I said, there's a lot of good guys in here, and everybody kind of knows each other most of the time. And so we just like to get to the front and stay up there, and then play out the fuel mileage if we can.
So I'm really, really happy for you, because this is the first time that I've seen you win on the Super Speedway here at Area 51. I really don't follow the trucks as much. I only get called up if my broadcast partner needs somebody. But all in all, great run. Congratulations. You got any thanks and shouts you want to make here?
Oh, yeah. I want to thank Charles and all the OGs. I'm not an OG Area 51 guy, but I am one of the senior guys in the group. So it's nice to kind of put it on the kids every once in a while. So got to thank them for hosting these races and letting me participate. Thank my team. A lot of them didn't have the luck tonight, but without them, we couldn't do this, even to make a start or make good qualifying or good pit decisions early. Appreciate all they do, Gabe and Eric and Jimmy, and I know Joe wasn't here tonight, and Kevin Freeze. Oh, there's a bunch of OG boot knockers that really have helped me out. And I want to thank J Concepts down in Groveland, Florida, for letting me carry the colors, and like to put the purse back into the kitty for Area 51 on behalf of J Concepts. So throw that into the mix for the next season. And, thank you guys for broadcasting and letting people see what we do on Sunday nights and every other night of the week, when we just sitting around and, pretending to be kids again.
As I say, it's a lot of fun to be able to do this, and also definitely a thank you to, I'm sure, the admins and everybody. It's always a nice gesture as well. I'm sure the admins will definitely be appreciative of that, and that's something Matt and I talked about. Just the group we have here. It's like I said, everybody seems like they know each other. It's a great group of guys, and it's a lot of fun to do this with all of you guys. But obviously a great way to kick off the season, to preseason, I guess you could say, before the regular season starts off tomorrow night. So great job tonight, though, JD. Enjoy this one. And then we'll see, I'm sure, getting back to business here, starting up in these couple next days.
I appreciate it. It's great to win at Talladega.
Congrats, man. Enjoy it. All right, Matt, that is our race winner in that number 5 of JD Crow. And saying again, we talked about just like I said, the selflessness of these guys. I mean, how many places do you see where usually you put these paid races out? That's what brings the crowds. Like, oh yeah, I want to run this race. I want to win the money. And then he goes right off the bat and says, "Hey, I'm going to put that back into the league." I mean, that just to me that just stands out. This shows just again the guys believe in what the league is doing, and I think, and I mean, to do that, it's a really nice gesture, and it's really cool of these guys, and that's what's made it a lot of fun to work with each and every one of these drivers and everybody involved in the league.
Yeah, that's a ton of respect for JD Crow, what he's done. Any kind of donation to this league that these guys throw at all their winnings, just thrown right back into the league. I applaud you. It's very much respect for you.
Yeah, it's really cool to have. So for those that maybe are interested, I know we had some viewers tonight, so I really appreciate everybody that was hopping on to support us here at Green White Checker TV. Let's say, again, we kick the regular season off tomorrow night with the Next Gens, Tuesday night for the IR18 IndyCars, Thursday Super Speedway trucks, and then bringing it back to Sunday for the Super Speedway Xfinity cars. You can find more info at area51iracing.com if you are interested, so definitely check it out. Until then, though, Matt, we're 4 days a week now over here at Green White Checkered with Area 51. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to see this season kick off. And like I said, it's gonna be kicking off tomorrow night with the Next Gens. And we're gonna have Nick Chambrone is gonna be the voice of that one. So really appreciate Nick hopping on board to help me out and kind of build and grow this league and channel, I should say, that we've got going on here. So Matt, always a pleasure, man. Love doing this with you. Looking forward to Sunday seasons. And we'll hopefully see you either on track or in the booth here plenty the rest of this season.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, so everybody that's watching, thank you so much for watching, for supporting. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Of course, as always, stay safe, and we'll catch you tomorrow night. So until then, take care, and we'll see you Monday.